and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With GhanaTalks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. GhanaTalks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. GhanaTalks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast. French fries.
Koko nikosi alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on GhanaTalks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bliss,
Deborah Adoso,
and I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
GhanaTalks Radio, #1.
This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. It's a beautiful brand new day, and you are welcome to the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show right here on GhanaTalks Radio. This is a news headline review. Right here, we bring you all the latest headlines making waves in the news, from business to politics, from sports to entertainment. We got you covered with the most relevant stories and informed perspectives on issues that matter to you every morning right here on the show. And I am your host, Ruth Esinam Fiagbedu. And as you know it, joining me in the studios this morning is Miss Deborah Adoso and Miss Regina Bliss, who'll be diving into the main issues. Good morning to you, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning, Miss Debbie. Why are you smiling plenty? Have you received an alert?
No.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
We bless God. Miss Regina?
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good by grace.
If you're not good, like you'll be good.
I'm good, that's all. I hope you are
good.
fine.
You want to be that.
If you're not good,
You're not good.
you'll be good.
The
How's the weekend?
weekend was fine.
It was fun. I hope you
Yes.
went to church yesterday. Oh, of course, you went to church. Now you can't miss church.
Hey, same baby.
Never.
Calabasua.
You don't have an excuse. You
No
can't miss
excuse.
church, even if it is raining. You have to go.
go.
Miss Debbie, what about you? How was church?
Yes, it was great and interesting.
In the weekend, were you able to rest and deactivate your stressful mood?
Yeah, a bit.
A bit. Oh, Saturday's Monda Kakra. Monda. Why? Monda.
Yeah,
So how was your weekend also?
Oh, my weekend was good. I mean, I traveled on Saturday.
Oh wow.
And Sunday I went to
To
church.
the Emirates?
Oh, yeah. I went to the country which starts with an O. No, it actually
hi.
ends with an O.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So is it Ohio?
Yeah, Ohio.
Ohio.
The oxygen city. Right. But all the same was good. I mean, my week was fantastic. Right.
That's nice.
Let's dive into the main issues. Step up and depoliticize anti-corruption fight. Former NPP flag bearer aspirant Dr. Arthur Kennedy has called on President John Dramani Mahama to intensify Ghana's fight against illegal mining. I'm sorry. I'm having a bit. Alright, so let me take that again. Step up and depoliticize anti-corruption fight. Arthur Kennedy to President John Dramani Mahama. Former New Patriotic Party flag bearer aspirant Dr. Arthur Kennedy has called on President John Dramani Mahama to intensify and depoliticize Ghana's anti-corruption campaign, warning that selective enforcement could undermine public confidence. Dr. Kennedy argued that although recent efforts signal renewed commitment, the pace of prosecution remains slow and overly focused on retrospective cases rather than prevention. Dr. Kennedy cautioned that perceived partisan, particularly the limited prosecution of officials, aligned with the National Democratic Congress, risks weakening the credibility of anti-corruption agenda. He urged the president weakening the credibility of the anti-corruption agenda. He urged the president to elevate and speed up the process while keeping it strictly non-partisan. His comments comes as former Chief Executive Officer of the Microfinance and Small Loans Center, Sedinam Tamaklo, which is scheduled to appear before a judge in the United States on January 21st to determine whether she will be extradited to Ghana. So this is what Kennedy is saying. So Ghana's ambassador to the United States, which is Victor Smith, disclosed the development in an interview, noting that U.S. Marshals have so far restricted Ghanaian government and the embassy officials from visiting Madam Tamaklo, though the reasons remain unclear. Madam Tamaklo was sentenced in absentia in April 2024 to 10 years imprisonment with hard labor by an Accra High Court after being convicted on 78 counts, including causing financial loss to the state, stealing conspiracy to steal, money laundering, and breaches of the Public Procurement Act. So this is from Mr. Kennedy. He's a former flag bearer aspirant for the New Patriotic Party. And then he says that it's high time we depoliticize corruption and face it head on. Miss Debbie, what can you say to this, please?
I think to win the fight against corruption, we have to do away with politics. Because when you intend to fight corruption and you wear the lenses of politics, there is no way you are going to win the fight against it, because definitely there are people involved in corruption who hold high offices as politicians. So if you want to fight corruption based on politics or based on war, because we've worked together before, I know you, this, blah, 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 and so that kind of harshness or that kind of energy you're supposed to put in to ensure that the person faces the law and accounts for whatever he or she did, it's not going to happen because of politics. But you take critical look at countries where they don't tolerate corruption, no matter who you are, whether you are the president, whether you are the president's son or daughter, and then they know you are engaged in corruption. What is the law stating? The law is stating that whether you're a president, daughter, or son, so long as you've taken something that does not belong to you, you need to face this, and these are the count. You have no option. So we saw instances where a prime minister and her son was being sentenced in other countries.
Yeah.
Now looking at Sedinam Tamaklo, this is somebody who have diverted almost 500 to 90 million money meant for Kantamanto, victims of the fire outbreak. you see, these are the reason why sometimes I get to understand these traders. I can't remember when this incident happened. We went to them and they told us that she said they said that they've promised. Yes, they've had promises, and they are not disputing the fact that big people, stakeholders, known officers in office, or people who hold higher office has promised them this amount of money, and it's true, but they haven't received that money. And sometimes we feel like, oh, it's just a hearsay something, but this woman has made it known that it's true. They didn't give them that money. Why will you take something that does not belong to you? Money that is meant for these victims. What Jiafa? And then I think this what's the name, Obatampa Madake, because they also came for loan and they were not able to pay with the interest. He has taken an amount of money which he was not supposed to take. And he said they are buying phones for what's the name, the staff, and also goodness, things are really going on. Yeah. So you see this kind of issue, this kind of corrupt activities involving, because she's somebody who is in office and she has been appointed in there by a political party. She was she in with the MPP? No. The NDC government, yes. So I think the MPP raised that issue when they were in office, that the NDC should do something about it. And then they did it, they sentenced, and then the sentence, was it his? Yeah, his assistant. His assistant, they gave him 5 years. 5 years with hard labor. And she has 10 years. She has 10 years. So you see, it's just like this. So imagine the current administration feels like, well, it's nothing. We will not fight it. We wouldn't do anything. You have to set example. So for me, I feel like they are setting example. Because you wouldn't tell me that you will not arrest Sedinam, but you're after Ken of Oriata. It doesn't make sense. So you have to start from your house. Leadership by example. Then people can follow your footsteps. So with what the statement in there is putting across, it's clear. You cannot tell me that you are fighting corruption with the lenses of politics. You have to put that lenses aside, deal with the person as it is. So long as you didn't respect that political party that gave you that appointment, you didn't respect the people you are in for, you didn't even respect the fact that the money you are taking is for the taxpayer, not your money. And then there is no way we should also feel bad when we after you to stand in the court of law and then also face your charges.
Right. Miss Regina. Yeah, so as Mr. Atta Kennedy is saying, I think I do agree with him. Why should the fight against corruption be politicized? I feel like when it is politicized, the fight against it would, should I say, lessen. The effort you are supposed to put in wouldn't be, wouldn't be valued. Let's say our former finance minister, he's an MPP. Yeah, kind of right. And we've seen instances where even then times some of these MPP personnel or politicians were supporting him. They were covering up his tracks, and I've seen instances where the OSP came to sit on live television to say certain things about the MPP party, and also in regards to former finance minister. Looking at how most people were not putting in their efforts to make sure that he was arrested. He was even able to fly out of the country without anyone arresting him, without interrogation, without even no one knowing, because all of a sudden we heard say he's not in the country. That was what I heard. Now, the fight against corruption should not be politicized. As Debbie said, we've seen instances when it comes to the Western countries where these people, regardless of who you are, whether you are rich, you are poor, you are healthy, you are sick, whatsoever, you would be caught up upon. So what is happening to Ghana? When President John Dramani Mahama came, corruption, we will fight corruption. Corruption is our topmost priority, but it looks like we are slacking. They even set up other committees that would help with the fight against corruption. Operation Recover or Loot. How many recovery have they done?
Zero.
Zero. And we've seen instances where is it the Attorney General himself or one person coming out to say oh, and if we are able to recover some, that is fine. No, it's either you recover or you don't recover anything at all, because you can't recover some and leave some for these people. I think with the I don't know, with the NSA scandal, I heard that she wanted to pay off some debt or something like that, and they rejected it.
They rejected it, yes. I heard that from the Attorney General.
A criminal in the first place shouldn't even have the audacity to bargain. It looks like in our political scape and in the fight against corruption, that is how we've made it. And that is how we've given the free will to these criminals to tell us what they want to do. In the first place, if it was a normal citizen, you would pay that money and you would be arrested. You would face the law.
You face the law.
I remember a case of a school teacher who was paid excess. It wasn't his fault. The government paid him excess. He chopped the money. They told him to pay that money.
National, it was on live, national television.
He was told to pay that money. But when it comes to this politicians, I don't know if they think they are high and mighty. We are all equals. No one is above the law.
No one is above
we gave
the
them that power, and we can as well as take that power from them. So to the government, they need to make sure that they sit up when it comes to corruption, because it's becoming too much. You to know so we will not sit down for these people to loot us and so all the time. The fight against corruption should not be politicized.
Should not be politicized.
The same way they are telling us that the Galamsey fight should not be politicized. It should be like that. And I'm happy that Sedi now she was once an NDC, and they are bringing up this fight. If not, Anka, Ghana Hayent na her minority for no press conference. Mamu Betsy.
Yeah, so we shouldn't politicize the fight against corruption. Let's move on. Mutaka calls for collective action to curb violence in Ashanti region. The Minister for Interior, Alhaji Mohammed Mutaka Mubarak, has called on local authorities and security stakeholders to take collective and decisive action to address rising violence in the Ashanti region. He made the call at the Ashanti Regional Coordinating Council's New Year retreat for Metropolitan, Municipal and District Chief Executive. The retreat was under the theme, Retreat, Reorganize and Redirect Towards the Reset Agenda. Addressing the gathering, the Interior Minister stressed that MMDEs play a critical role in maintaining peace and security within their district. He expressed concern about the increase in violent crimes, particularly those involving the use of firearms. Alhaji Mutaka urged the local government heads to actively promote key security initiatives, especially the gun amnesty program, which allows individuals to surrender illegal firearms without facing prosecution. He explained that the program, which began on December 1st, 2025, has been extended to January 30th, 2026, following appeals from stakeholders for more time. The minister also called on the MMDEs to strengthen local security coordination and submit regular progress reports to the Ministry of Interior to help address emerging threats early. He assured the public that the ministry remains committed to implementing effective security policies and working closely with communities, traditional authorities, and security agencies to promote peace and stability across the region. He concluded by urging unity, shared responsibility, stressing that improving security in the Ashanti region requires collective action at all levels. Right. What do you think is driving the recent rise in violence crime in the Ashanti region? Miss.
Okay, so I wouldn't really know what is bringing up all these issues, and I don't want to say I'm quite disappointed, because when you look at Ashanti region is a should I say it's a country on its own, because it has beautiful people, it has beautiful values, and it also have an elite and well-respected king there. So I don't know what is really happening. I think was it over this weekend I saw a video where some people allegedly shot at a driver, and the driver made sure that no one was hurt, and the person doing the video was like, "What the mobile Ashanti region wow." And I was like, what is happening? What brought all these things? Because wait, we should Anna your friend is saying asemia otum for kokan Bokwasem no kodi no.
Oh,
It can be.
Do you think it's related to that? That is why there's. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
Maybe it
So
could
I'm
be.
not sure.
Let's take chances. Maybe it could be. It could be also.
Okay, maybe it's a 50-50 because that stands and we don't really know why this whole issue is escalating. But one thing I want to say is peace is very expensive, and peace should be something paramount to everyone, and also it should be a priority. It should be something which we should not lack as individuals. I would say that when it comes to Ghana is known for its peaceful nature aside the inter-community violence and all that. So I think this is a wake-up call to the government and also to the sitting king there. I think he needs to make sure that he talks to his people and also make sure that any issue that is left unsaid, because sometimes certain issue left unsaid brings all these things. Maybe some people are harboring certain things which are not excuse me, which are not supposed to be in their hearts, but more, well, I say it's still in them. So I think the Asante Hene or the Tumfo needs to talk to the people and also make sure that peace is restored. And as our interior minister said, the fight against all these clashes and all that is a collective responsibility. One person can't make sure that peace is restored. And also the interior minister has given a deadline or came out to say that surrender all firearms. Why do people still have their firearms? Ghana, you. And I know that, I think I went with you where he was saying that there's a sanction for those who don't surrender their firearms. So I don't know what they are also doing as the Minister of Interior. It's like they are sleeping on their jobs, pardon me, but it's like they are sleeping on their jobs. They need to make sure, if they are supposed to even ransack everyone's home, they should ransack it. Because if I personally had a gun and I think I have all necessary documents making sure that that gun is legal, I think it would be difficult for me to surrender it. Maybe I gained it for my own protection. So why should I surrender it?
You should have papers that show that genuinely.
Yes, but as it stands, and he said no matter what, everybody should surrender their gun.
You surrender it without prosecution.
Yes.
So once the deadline is over, once you are caught, you'll be arrested.
Yes, so I think the rising cases of criminals and robbery activities in the Ashanti region of late is surging. Because just yesterday, I saw in the news where they said, I think 30 people has been caught in some parts of the Ashanti region with firearms and some, what's the name, weeds or cocaine and all those stuffs and all that. Yes, Ashanti is a very big region. So we have good people and definitely we'll have criminals and robberies also ongoing there. But of late it's becoming too much. So I think that is the main reason why the interior minister is focusing his main attention on that. And then regarding the firearm issues, we've seen instances where they have a lot of festivals. They use firearms and all that. And I remember vividly that some time ago, Kofi of Angel TV was shot in the eye because someone, or during their festivals and all that, I don't know how they call it, I don't know whether they are bravo or whatever, they were shooting in the air, and I don't know how it happened, mistakenly shot him in the eye. And I think this is not the first time. We've had instances where people were being shot as a means of using this firearm to deter people and also alert them that we are in town, festivals is ongoing and all that. So I think this also amounts to the main reason why he's emphasizing on this firearm issues, for them to surrender it up. It was supposed to be, the deadline was on December 1st, but they've extended it. They kept extending it now. it's on 30th January. That's 30th of this month, and that is the amnesty period they've given these people to surrender their firearms. And I don't know, the interior minister is kind enough, because he keeps on postponing and then extending this grace period for these people. The day Betty just say, they should be ready to face it. Yes. So with these criminal cases, I think Ashanti region is becoming notorious of late. So I feel like they should pay more attention to that. So long as the population is vast, things like this are bound to happen. But we can as well take critical look of it and tame it down.
Right. Let's look at our next story. This is from the world of entertainment. Support high life artists. Mr. Simmons to government. The president of the Musicians Union of Ghana, Mr. Simmons, has appealed to government to introduce special incentives for artists who promote high life music, saying stronger support will help preserve Ghana's musical identity. Mr. Simmons said, while Musicians Union of Ghana supports all high life artists, state-backed incentives are needed to encourage more musicians to invest in the genre. He explained that incentives and privileges for the high life musicians would motivate artists to focus on authentic Ghanaian sounds rather than copying foreign styles. According to him, this would help grow the genre and attract more young musicians. Mr. Simmons also revealed that Musica is working towards establishing a Ghana Music Museum to preserve the country's musical heritage. He said the project aims to document the history of Ghanaian music, honor legendary musicians through a Hall of Fame, and promote cultural tourism. He noted that the music industry has already started collecting historic items and records from veteran musicians, but would need strong partnership from governments and private institutions to complete the project. According to him, the proposed museum could become a major tourist attraction and a key country landmark for the country. So this is from the president of the Musicians Union of Ghana, Mr. Besa Simmons, who is appealing to the government to introduce special incentives for artists who promote high life music. And he says that this builds a stronger support and will help Ghana, to be identified for high life music. How do you think the government can come in to help the music industry, especially the high life artists? Ms. Debbie?
So I think, financially, these musicians can be supported, because we've seen instances where a lot of them comes out to complain that it looks as if they are not being supported and financially supported and also recognized by the government, right? Of what they do. Let's not forget that high life is ours. High life is something that shows that you are a Ghanaian. Let me say it's our identity.
Yeah.
Because that if you sing high life, they know that this is Ghanaian way or traditional. Let me put it that way: traditional way of singing. It depicts us. If you want to talk about Afro, we have countries that are into that. Immediately you start playing Afro song, they know that this is the country it hails from. When we come to Amapiano, we know countries that are solely known for that, and they are so good in what they do. Now when you come to Ghana, it's high life, but I feel like we don't pay so much attention to high life. We see it to be outdated. How can you see your identity to be outdated? That is why we don't see massive improvement. Let me even ask you a question. How many programs have you gone? Aside funeral, have you seen people playing high life before? It is normally common in funeral because we tame it to be a funeral song, because mainly that is where it has been. It's like we usually make it known. But when you talk about programs like parties, naming ceremony, wedding, everybody wants this Afro type that our musicians are bringing it up, which is not our identity. So I feel like one more thing that will make this so attractive, boost the confidence of people who are already into the lives, the high life, which is our identity, and even encourage young upcoming artists or musicians to also pass through that same path, is to support these people and make them known. Okay, you make them known globally. I was happy when President Mahama came on board and he brought I think Experience Expo, where this that is to the movie industry. Experience Expo, where all the actors and actors will come together. They'll think of a plan, like maybe yearly, what they'll bring on board, how they're going to improve it. So you see the president or the government involving in this makes you feel like you count, and the way you feel like he's reviving the industry that everybody thinks it has collapsed, and in a way you are being your morale is being boosted. Okay, even if at that quiet, automatically it will get boosted. So that is what you're supposed to do with our high life as well. You support them, bring out an initiative that will make them known. You can. I remember some time ago there was a foreigner that was brought into Ghana. He's a white, and he made a statement. He said Ghana has the most best when we are talking about Africa, Ghana has the best culture in terms of when it comes to food, when it comes to music in our local dialect. And he made a statement that if we should project it, we will be known than we copying from other people. Like we copying the Afro, we copying the Amapiano, which is not ours. But when it comes to highlight, like I saw a video where Ko was showing it to me, and a Nigerian was trying to depict how we do our high life and then singing it. It was something else. Immediately you hear them, you know that and you. So the best thing we can do is that support these people financially. I mean, once in a while there should be a conference or a seminar where these people are being educated. If you think that is outdated, we can still maintain the same line, but what can we chip into it? Not diverting from what is ours, but what can we add to it to make it so attractive, and then make these Gen Zs coming on board who think that high life is for the old people, it's for my grandmother is in the house, and not for the Gen Zs, because the Gen Zs they are in something like a piano, like beat, Afrobeat, and all that. So what can you add up and make it so attractive to them? So once in a while seminar, you do all this thing, you support them financially, and then you encourage them. For me, I think that is the best way forward, and not to criticize them. Sometimes you see our own people on national television, sometimes other countries, and now they speak about your own, identity. It's very, very bad. So in my explanation, I think that is the best way we can support our own and bringing high life back to a reality.
Right. Miss Gina?
Yeah, so I would say high life needs resurrection, because it looks like it's dying. And as Miss Debbie said, high life is our identity as Ghanaians. We can't do away without high life. Yeja high life at home. Now you're qualified the way. I'm a piano. And you I don't know, but I got to a point where Nigerians and Ghanaians were fighting over high life. Over the ownership who brought it. Now mo that bang. High life if you
are refusing to identify yourself, somebody will take your identity.
They are not even taking it serious. The artists themselves are not taking it serious. So I think Bisa Simmons is the musical president. Correct me if I'm No, for the entire musica. So I think the government needs to help, but that the government can't do it alone. That is why the government have other people who support. We have the Ministry of Arts, Tourism, Culture. So what he's proposing, it needs to go through that channel first. That is where the Minister of Finance also comes in. That is where the other ministers also come in, or the other your friend is saying institutions. That is either the Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of GTA, Ghana Tourism
Association.
is it
Authority.
Authority.
Sorry.
So it's a process. You don't just wake up and just give it to the government's buying like that. That's why the government have subordinates working beneath him. So it has to go through all the right process. So I think it's a good idea on the part of the president, but he needs to make sure that he speaks to the right people in charge. We have Abeku Santana. He can see him and talk to him about it. We have this actress in Preference. Oh, for her name is it Mrs. Hojaton?
What's the name?
The president for the
Yeah.
For her name, dear.
For tourism, right? Owodimbi, Aigwedimbi.
Yeah,
Is it Jifa?
Jifa
Gomashi.
No,
Jifa Gomashi is
She's
also
the
there.
minister,
Yeah, she's
but
the
this
minister.
one is the
Hojaton.
no. It didn't some way be HOUG.
Abeku Santana's main president.
Yeah.
Before he comes in. So I think, as I'm saying, they need to go through the right process. Then at the end of the day, and also the artists themselves should also make sure that they are hardworking. They need to make sure that what they are putting out there is relevant. They need to make sure that they are giving us the best of high life. And what should see today high life now? I may say there's power, but this time high life now say go back.
So let me just add a bit to what she said. No one is going to buy your skill if you yourself do not see it as something that is very valuable. People buy into your idea when they see your seriousness, when they see that what you are doing, you are actually into it, you are ready for what you want to do. So let's take Weila in the northern region for instance. See, foreigners was
Riala.
Rather,
Yes.
okay. Foreigners want to buy into something that is natural. They don't want fake. So this lady, she's all over. She's working with white and a lot of people just because she's being true to herself. This is what she portrays. She's doing it naturally. She's singing in her dialect and she's making it big time. Okay, so the fake identity, is becoming too much and it's not helping us. That is why on the global stage, Ghana is nowhere to be found. Because we cannot even identify what we are doing, and it's sad.
It's sad. So it's high time our musicians own up to their music, and however the governments can come in to help them, they should project that. Thank you so much for joining us in the news headline review happenings. We have Today in History with Miss Regina Bless.
Bringing you Today in History on this day. First BlackBerry device hit the market. The BlackBerry 850 was introduced by Research in Motion on this day 1999, functioning as a two-way pager with email, marking the start of the iconic brand known for its QWERTY keyboards and push email before evolving into smartphones. 2007, Turkish journalist Hrant Dink was assassinated on this day 2007 in Istanbul, shot by ultra-nationalist teenager Ogun Samist outside his newspaper's office, a murder that sparked widespread outrage and protest highlighting issues of Turkish nationalism and free speech. Dink, editor of the bilingual newspaper Agos, advocated for Turkish Armenian reconciliation and openly discussed the Armenian genocide, leading to charges of denigrating Turkishness before his death. 1966, Indira Gandhi becomes India's first female prime minister, succeeding Lal Bahadur, and served until 1977, returning in 1980 until her assassination in 1984, marking a pivotal moment in Indian political history as the country's only female PM to date. To some few observers, acts as Outlaw Day. honoring rebellious artists who challenge norms, speak uncomfortable truth, and push societal boundaries through their work, from street art like Banksy to musicians like Bob Dylan. It's a day to recognize creators who operate on the fringes, inspiring change and new perspectives by breaking traditions in music, literature, and visual art and film. Blue Monday, dubbed the most depressing day of the year, originating from a 2004 travel company's PR stunt. It's a pseudo-scientific concept highlighting post-holiday blues, broken New Year's resolutions, and gloomy weather. But it's now used by mental health groups to encourage self-care and open conversations about well-being, not as a factual date. Good Memory Day, a day to cherish past happy moments, share stories, look at old photos, and create new positive memories, often focusing on brain health and nostalgia. While there is also a broader Memory Day in March, January 19th is specifically recognized as the Day for Good Memories, encouraging reflection and appreciation for experiences that shape us. Lastly, Tenderness Toward Existence Day. It is a special day to promote compassion, kindness, and appreciation for all living beings in the natural world, encouraging mindfulness and gentle connection with every form of life, from humans to animals and even insects. It's a reminder that every life holds value and serves as a call to express warmth and care, fostering a greater understanding of our interconnectedness on Earth. So today serves as Tenderness Toward Existence Day. Whether it's being a mosquito, worm, cockroach, whatsoever, show compassion towards these insects. Don't kill them. And that's all for today on Today in History and Some Observances, live on Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Thank you so much, Miss Regina Bless. Someone will say, if you reach your 10, make it, don't kill them. Right, Miss Debbie.
Welcome to Debbie's Grill, where we talk about issues that matter to the state, void of politics, fear, or favor. Unemployment or a lack of economic opportunity could pose Ghana's biggest risk in 2026, even as short-term price pressures show signs of easing. This is followed by technological disruption and insufficient public services, including infrastructure, according to the World Economic Forum's Global Risk Report 2026. The report, which is informed by responses from business executives under the Executive Opinion 2025, signals growing concern that Ghana's economic recovery is yet to translate into broader-based job creation, particularly for the country's youthful labor force. Analyst says persistent unemployment threatens household incomes, consumer demand, and long-term productivity, raising risk to economic and social stability. Ranked second on Ghana's risk profile, the adverse outcomes of artificial intelligence, reflecting on ease over the speed of digital transformation to skills development, regulatory readiness, and labor market adaptability. While technology presents opportunities for efficiency and growth, the report suggests that without targeted reskilling and strong governance framework, automation could displace jobs and widen inequality. The assessment also places insufficient public services and social protection among Ghana's top risk, highlighting sustained pressure on healthcare, education, transport infrastructure, and pension system. This outcomes at a time when fiscal consolidation limits public spending, even as population growth and urbanization increase demand for essential services. A decline in health and well-being further underscores The link between social outcomes and economic performances. Weaker health system translating into lower labor productivity and higher household costs. So this is coming from World Economic Forum's Global Risk Report 2026 that states that although the economy is stabilized as we've been told, and as it's been stated on the paper, that the economy is being stabilized, but it is not reflected on broader basis across sectors, across working sectors. And so if care is not taken, one of the major challenges Ghana will record in 2026 has to do with unemployment. And unemployment is one of the major challenges that we've been fighting for decades. And anytime, any day, we've heard leaders telling us that it is one of their topmost priority to create jobs for the people. Now, they also stated that if we don't take time, AI will take majority of people's work, which is true, which I would say have even started, but not common in Ghana. But this is what they are stating. If we don't take care and we don't work against solving unemployment issues at the same time, when AI is dominating in the world, then it's going to worsen the situation. Because here lies the case where artificial intelligence is used for basically everything. Now, I've seen the videos where in some restaurants they don't need waiter and waitresses anymore. We have robots who have been set, okay, who have been set with this artificial intelligence. They work, they think, they reason, they do things as humans. The only thing they come to you, they communicate with you normal as humans. You choose what you want to buy on the menu, and then they come to serve you. We've seen all these videos. Now, what we are saying is that unemployment is something that needs to be solved in the country. You see, the data that we've been hearing day in, day out, I would say is not true. Some time ago, we've heard some leaders saying that they've created millions of jobs. Some also say they did that, they've done this. So if you're telling me that you've created millions of jobs, how then do we still struggle with unemployment issues in the country? You can't tell me that the same way you've been taking when the population was lesser or not amounting to 1 million on creating jobs should be the same way you are thinking now that the population is developing, or now that we people are giving birth, and so the population is increasing. So that is the same way that we have to think around is when it comes to job creation. Because trust me, we have a lot of people out there who are doing works or things that they don't have the passion to do, but they are doing it because there is no job. We have people going to school, graduating, and then there is no job. Just yesterday, I've heard one lecturer speaking, and then he said, so what is the essence of education? He was asking a question. Now, what is the essence of education? Because education means you need to be educated, right? Basically on the field you want to explore, and also learning things around it and broadening your scope of knowledge. So what becomes of you after you are done and then there is nothing for you to do? Then what is the essence? Because trust me, you've paid for it. The school you are going, or the school you are enrolling your ward into, is not free. You pay for basically everything. For the teacher to come to class to teach you, you pay for it. You pay for it. So it becomes useless when you are done with school and there is nothing there for you to do. And all those jobs they say they have created is on paper. We don't see it on ground. Because if it is something that is in the physical realm, then we should see its effect. Then the rate of unemployment should reduce. But here lies the case, the rate of unemployment in the country is not reduced. And day in, day out, we have people graduating from the university. Day in, day out, we have people being enrolled into the university, and still we are marking time. And that is why, if sitting here right now, I get opportunity outside the country for me to come and broaden what I've been taught. Do you think I'll decline? Never. I'm not going to decline. I'll definitely go. Yes. I will definitely go. And that is the same to these people. The person has been unemployed for years. But we have leaders who promise us that this is what they want to do. The city to the dollar is stabilized. That is perfect. The economy is on track. That is perfect. What about unemployment? Is it reflecting on those sides? The initiatives we've brought on board. How many people are those initiatives able to employ? Was those initiatives brought up to employ only babies or children of politicians, or it was brought up to employ Ghanaians as a whole? Because sometimes those initiatives they've been bringing on board, 50% goes to people who you know. Before you get there, they'll tell you that I am a. And then you get to some sectors, we have people working in the system and they're above 80 plus and they are still working. What's a 1 year day? And we have people who have freshly graduated and they need work to do. And as I said, we have companies where we have people working 80 plus, 60 plus. What's a 1 year day? You should go pave way for the younger ones to take over. Let them also enjoy those incentives. Let them make good use of their life. Because I can boldly tell you that most of the youth out there, they are frustrated. They don't even know what to become of them. Seriously, they don't know what to become of them. And you see, sometimes when you get to the university, I've met a lot of colleagues in school where they'll tell you that, oh, I'm offering this course because with this course, I can easily get a job. I don't want to go and pursue courses where after completion, I'm not going. But let me be sincere to you, some of them are still in the house. And they are not employed. Even courses that are being regarded as courses that you can easily be employed on. We still have graduates that are sitting in the house and they are not being employed. So what is going on? That is what we should be asking ourselves. The fact that you come to read on paper that you've created jobs, you've done this, you've done that, and we still have people that are marking time, working in suits, on sun, in suit on sun, hot sun, from offices to offices, just to be employed. It's bad. I feel like where we've got into, we shouldn't be struggling with unemployment. Immediately you are done with school, and this is going to ease pressure on the certain sectors. And the fact that we've even made certain sectors so cheap that everybody want to go into. Teacher, for example, nursing. If you like, let's go to the senior high school and then interview students and then ask them what do you want to be. 50% will tell you they want to go to the teaching training. 50% will tell you that they want to go to the nursing training. And all these sectors are packed. They are choked. They are choked. And we are basically doing nothing about it. It's very, very sad. So if you have unemployment person in your house, you understand. But if you don't have them in your house, it is okay. We know what people are going through out there, and it's not something that we should take it slightly. We might not see it to be something very important, but this is what they are telling us. That if we don't take time, unemployment in 2026 will be worse than what we've seen in previous years. And I think this should be a wake-up call for the government, because it is one of its topmost priority to create jobs. And that is why he's bringing the 24-hour working day shift and all that, bringing in policies and all that. We just hope that these offers will reach the right people and not land in the hands of the wrong people. The most important thing is unemployment being solved. Thank you for making time with me on the Grill.
Thank you so much, Miss Debbie, on the issue of unemployment. I think it's becoming unbecoming. But the government says it has put in some policies to make sure that everyone gets a job. So I think with that, we shouldn't have a problem with that. And President John Dramani Mahama also mentioned that the 24-hour economy will begin this year. So I think we should be hopeful, right? Miss Debbie, don't you think we should be hopeful that the 24-hour economy will sort out all these issues?
There is no fear in hoping. Let's keep hoping, because we've hope, but we are still hoping and ensuring that they will get to see it, since it is going to take effect 100% from this year onwards. Then we are hoping for the best, that it wouldn't be the same stories we've heard or continue to hear in the previous years.
Right. But if the government is doing its part and the youth seem uninterested, what do you think? What else do you think?
Then that is your own cup of tea without sugar.
Right. Because I feel like people are just not ready to work, but they are ready to eat.
It's your own, and
Yes.
carry your cross.
And they've all added to their unemployment rate and then the numbers, and we are counting
They
them.
even want quicker money.
You get it.
So with those people, I don't know, maybe we need to reset their brains, because
But they are adding to the numbers, and it's annoying.
You can't count without adding them. You have to. That is why I say you need to reset their brains, because even the Bible states that and say so if you're sitting down and then you've crossed your hands and your legs, watching in the air, that manna should drop and fall into your mouth. Now watch it. The government is trying its possible best for you to help yourself.
I know of someone who is looking for a job, and she said for the job that she wants it to come with benefits such as an apartment, a car,
In Ghana here.
full allowance, and all of that. And I'm saying,
but there are some jobs in Ghana here which gives all those things.
but you don't get there immediately.
Exactly.
You're right.
You do certain things
a
before you
colleague
get there.
Who work with a company as painters.
Even ask me what is
accommodation
her
is part.
education and
Bag,
degree.
degree, yeah. Accommodation is part. They pay for your accommodation, and I think the salary is okay. They pay for the accommodation and everything. They don't pay for a water bill, anything. They deduct it from your money. But what you take at the end of the month is okay.
It's okay. I just feel like people should just take advantage if you get minimal job.
I believe like it's a step. I believe I can fly. It's a step by step something. If you want to jump, all of us sitting here, we've been through class 1, class 2, class 3, and no one jumped from class 1 all the way to SS3. What be that? So you have to take it. It is those people that end up rushing and they crash on the way. So
Anyways, those that are looking for job, we pray that they get job, and we're also hoping that the government intervenes and make sure that everyone gets a job. Thank you so much for joining us in the first segment of the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. We are coming up with a news shortly. Please stick and stay with us.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with GhanaTalks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With GhanaTalks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. GhanaTalks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. GhanaTalks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
We bring you local news, business news, international, sports, and entertainment news. Right here on GTR.
Welcome to the morning news update on Ghana Talks Radio. Coming up, Ghana-Guinea ties to strengthen historic bond. Vehicle owners protest 25 Ghana cedis onboarding fee at driver and vehicle licensing authority. And Umabo traders appeal for befitting market facilities. Tenants lament unfair rent increment, appealing for government intervention. Crisis hit Nima Presbyterian Church as members call for the dismissal of Reverend Desmond Nye. These and many more coming up your way shortly. Vice President Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman has reaffirmed the country's commitment to strengthening ties with Guinea. She made the statement during a visit to Guinea for the swearing-in ceremony of President Mamadi Doumbouya. She emphasized on breaching gaps, revitalizing Pan-African cooperation, and promoting diplomatic relations in West Africa.
First, it was Ghana and Guinea. These are the two countries that started before Mali came and the other countries also joined. And the dream has yet to be fulfilled, but I think so much has happened since then. We've had the regional blocks, SADC, ECOWAS, and so on. And they are all attempts for us to rethink what has happened to our country in terms of the divisions and the importance that lays ahead of us to ensure that we are bridging the gaps and becoming closer and closer. And the two presidents being Secretary and the Puma showed the way. So they've left footprints. It's our responsibility, as I said, to carry on the dream. So we are very happy that we were here to support a new president, the same country. And since we were here, we thought it proper also to pass by to let you know that not that we haven't forgotten each other, but to actualize it. And for that is why in passport times we are here to let you know that the family still remains and that we continue even to be an imperfect family, but a family anyway. So thank you very much.
Every family is imperfect.
Vehicle owners are up in arms over the driver and vehicle licensing authorities' 25 Ghana cedis onboarding fee as unfair. According to DVLA, the fee is for updating pre-2023 vehicle records on the DVLA's digital system, a requirement for obtaining a title certificate and electronic registration card. However, some drivers argue that extra charges for data update is unnecessary. Meanwhile, the Drivers and Licensing Authority says the process is significant for verifying vehicle ownership.
Some person new cars in the moment, and the moment no one find, but to be already signed a card that I will tell you video. Ensemble, I hope you some and the normal naging. Over fair, nip a register for ball, no matrancy. Nancy shall or no my now some woman for fraud here. As I confused in the band.
Open already stuck on for fra. Sir, and once or a being feminine ready some for now for my name because they already started that. The day won't be an obesa Jessica beam. And then I register my into no Canada meeting no one against or Sadiano. Say register my registered the that I was system. And it is not was a free man. One is all here now register card and Sunday mammy. Now means I'm a Jessica beam dia. Hey, as well be you bed there better than be
25 cities no. Norma. Say system no be ye dwuma no kwan se o mo kan kwan dia any problem bi amano. Enya ye dwuma kwan dia problem bi eni ho no. The 25 city there nya hwe. System there timi mistake anytime ya virus timi che no o mo timi restarting into no computer there computer. Into no mo say apepa no mo say foforo bi ma like yan ni omo enya ba ko na omunye de ombe amaye but just by say original na genuine dia any problem ya any problem
DVL mujai the system de wu enwa na Zada Danam, starting and the Mujaisa new registration.
The Omukan there and also because the Ombe like Nassim to me, you are already there. Yes, soon.
Scanner 8 and the media, me, I'm wise, me, I'm to the Mino because of car and son obey a free port and call it your own better. And son, I can't be road in DVL, be your test to be beer, Concratas and be better than Aqua and son obey sequence. Inti Sebi Saba and Society. Was a free because Uber was 2 times. And a packet and S one son was a Conwasa with Cheska. Already know they can chase Canada. And this is Kachana Ebam Nudia. Madame Minumiaji.
Ubuha Obokoro, now for Pluto Semco, but says, who connected 25 in Fabrana in Yanoma Frodia. A Camidia, some can be an officer, Crampo, Monoma Plito Crampo, Ifi. There's a mechanic from a management 25 city and Cassim Bienum. And Timidium Musen.
Traders in Anumabo are calling on authorities to provide a decent market space for business transactions. The traders who currently operate under challenging conditions seek support to upgrade their market facilities. The appeal is part of a broader effort to improve market conditions and support local businesses.
What you in a shot? Now, what can I worry in a quick game? Why am I for a moment shot to a bear to be a bass and a bayan? Although me and one layer cocoon. One man call me and cocoon, good way save you. Since I am one kind of Patanka Kramaka come on the West Indian. They are 2 million cocoon more. Patanka come on 1 city, you can't come. Baby, I am going to your crown, Sakabi to Fina. I shall go in ya batan try to go. On your ditch your number, your ditch your neighbor. It is said, or come back the day. What may you go to my hand is your book?
Tenant speaks against unfair rent increases, appealing for government intervention. In Kasua, tenants protest unjustified rent hikes despite signs of economic improvement. Meanwhile, the Rent Control Department says landlords need approval for rent increases. Also, the Rent Act 1963 regulates rent increases, requiring written notice and justification based on market trends and property improvement.
Because landlords if you are for no Samaya na name from particularly cement dollar number from ama if you are just say that it name also nti onfa omunkasa na omunte yeden so na so omunti sokora ampo a yabese be adu nka ho manu kona nimbium asem ese a ediga na bonya pa because idea hanipa tama dollar no wasro no excuse amode ma no cement ya tumi anwia ya tumi eda obe calculation into no so se wan tumi a next say dan ye bibia obe da asesi enti na watum ya fa na say na oba no se kono no se senso abafom dia nka so mo che say abafom now so anya sa na tie no aja no de omutum just like that nka say nyanko friends aban say hot there landlord assembly there omumbombo there na omucho ho mai dollar na abafom na say cement bibi abafom by still na edan ne there mu say abafom si de tie na tie ena me kan say proma kan sa ye na ye 24 na free riba no make say edan di esika more sine ye see because afibia etu afibia afirabia etu ajini pa 11 ene etu ntia no so high pa because ya basi we peska even yes can so na esa de ni nyina ko haidan yes to this afine be sa sha ase ni abra na esa peska ti de save no de save to on enye mot se de ye de dan ya mi so mu se omo hwe na omo ma dan ne bo na ye de emra ko e won hihye bi ho no mo a oda ye answer rent na nkasampa fix rent we probably assessment for recoverable rent. Dami du medine ma yehudo edani a period ma hani ana oye 1 cedi another oye 2 cedi ona ba ma yehu ne boa o de fi okwa de e de baje ye o nkita on de ne hyehyɛ o de ye ebi na ebi a dan na itimo no improvement bi abadan no
Meka say ye bi ansu ni fie ho. If you only the nsu aba ho. Washroom ni fie ho. If you na your washroom ho. Or the bibi abadan no ho a ama tenant not in na setena aye bra ama. Only if you only be able to na at renting.
Information reaching us has said that the concerned members of Hope Congregation, Nima Presbyterian Church of Ghana, are calling on the presbytery to remove the church's Reverend Minister Reverend Desmond Nye with immediate effect. The petition follows what they describe as persistent leadership challenges that have affected unity and spiritual growth within the church. Among concerns presented to the presbytery involves forgery signature, frequent reporting of church members to the police. Citing 1 Peter 1 verse 2, they accuse the Reverend Minister of gross disrespect towards the congregation. In accordance to the Constitution, they are calling on presbytery to intervene while welcoming any impartial investigation to help restore peace, accountability and confidence in leadership of the congregation.
Yeah, so we have serious issues with our minister, Desmond Anyate Nye, and our issues concern pastoral concerns and then criminal concerns, because some of the conduct with him are criminal in nature. They are at the moment under investigations by the police. But what are we referring to? Our minister forged the signature of one of the session members, and in fact the treasurer, for change of signatory, and sent that letter to the bank. And the treasurer had alerts. In fact, he received alerts in rapid succession of withdrawals from an account that he did not actually sign checks for. He then got in touch with the senior presbyter to find out whether he signed the checks for the withdrawals. And it turned out that the senior presbyter didn't have any knowledge about it. So eventually, the matter had to be reported to our presbytery office. That was on the 3rd of December. We waited for them to act on the matter and nothing is happening. As if that is not enough, the same Desmond who forged the treasurer's signature went to the the employers of the treasurer to report that the treasurer was actually frustrating him in doing his work as a minister. And so, Teddy's employees, that is the one whose signature was forged, he's Teddy. So, until his employers got to know the truth of the matter, they thought that maybe the boy was acting in a manner that was not in line with their expectation. So they got to know that there was nothing wrong with Teddy taking any action against the minister. Okay. Moving on, or fast forward, on Wednesday, the same minister went to report the treasurer, and the senior presbyter that they have stolen some church items. We feel that no, this is not right. So we have been agitating. We feel that we have a minister who doesn't have Christ in him. He's not a Christian in the first because his actions are ungodly. And we feel that our authorities should actually remove him. That is what we are not asking, that they call him to order. We are asking that he should be taken away, because a minister who is supposed to be our spiritual leader cannot be running to police stations, his congregant employers, and be spreading falsehood against them. We feel this is untoward.
And since when did you realize?
Okay, so the forgery came to our attention before the 3rd of December. That was when our senior presbyter, we heard the rumors, and then some of us asked the senior presbyter, and he confirmed that something of that sort had happened. And he had taken the matter to the presbytery. So we have been expecting the presbytery to act on the matter. They never did anything. Even last Sunday, they told us they were coming to engage us. They never came.
What steps have you taken?
Very well. So at the moment, we submitted an official petition to the presbytery. We copied the moderator. We copied some other high-ranking officials in the presbytery, and then at the general assembly level. Apart from the forgery, our minister is so disrespectful and bullying. He doesn't respect anybody. The church keys, the office keys, which were with the security before he came, he has taken custody of all of them. He brought a dog that is always disturbing, even when we are here to do something that is godly. Because he is not godly, he has to work. And we feel that no, these things cannot continue. So we have quite a lot of issues. We have misplaced priorities. You have a minister whose priority is not in line with the church. He does what he wants. You can't come and then buy what you think rather than what.
The Ejura Sechedumasi member chairman of the New Patriotic Party, Alhaji Abdul Rahman, has expressed confidence in Dr. Bawumia's ability to secure massive victory in the constituency upcoming presidential primaries. According to him, delegate support for Dr. Bawumia is expected to surge from 85% in 2023 to 95%.
Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia Babadura. Midobi Biasi. Mini animal delegates. Mimamu Akwaba. Electoral area coordinators. Council of Elders and Patrons. Former executive. Constituency executive. Ya Papa Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia. Wuni wa panfu. Mpenifuwa mudi wa chia wunu wa Babadura. Ya mamu ngina Akwaba. Mesremu. Mijina haimani ya jinsu miura ho. Nanka sasa samurei. Ya papa. Ya former chairman. Chairman Paul Kwakudut. Nanka wakaya ho. Bawumia duma yanu na shasiye. Na wushishani babi ya yenhunu. Muma yenjina ho 1 minute. Emma Paul Kwakudut. Aye former chairman. Yami mfani kile nsiye ye. Bida obi biyase. Obi antenasi. Chaboy. Mini yamu constituency. Polling station. Otu ahinifo ni osi ahinifo. Yadi mura ni bebre, timi nka ni bebre. Nyame bua 31st January ye kwa kotu aba. Eye eduro setre dumasi. Mumma yanchira ya bakosam. Emura bidia no ayetu ya no. Yenya 85%. Afuwe dia ye kwa kotu 2026. Mubama Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia 95%. Taboy. Me kachira musa aduro sechire dumasi. Ye ni obi anche bibia. Ye ni obi ani bibika. Ye ni ya Papa Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia na obi kan. Wa ye bebre di amaye. Esese ye toa no so. DNC. Ghana MPP DNC. Mama yambua Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia na yambua ye ni ayan power. Ye here power. 2028. Amafu abra wa NDC fo nsam. Anamu hwe de Ghana.
In related news, the Ashanti Regional Chairman of the New Patriotic Party, Chairman Wontumi, says the party's choice of flag bearer for the 2028 elections should base on who can win power and not personal relationships. He made this statement during Dr. Bawumia's tour in a Jura Sechidumase.
It is a tumi ne ya pedia. Anyasa madam funi wei. Anyasa mini wei ne wokuo. Anyasa wei na ya tintin. Anyasa wei na mepe na asem. Na mmom dia yade ne kwa a obetimi agi tumi na maye no. Mepoacha constituency executive say hwan Why? Council of Elders, me watch on 1 year didn't call election 2028 or by coordinators, me watch on 1 year and call election 2028. Police station, police station, police station, police station, police station, police station, police station. I am 1 year and call election 2028. I am 1 year for.
In business, the Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana has distanced itself from a pressure group calling itself the Coalition of Exporters and Importers and Traders over claims made against the proposed implementation of the Smart Port Note (SPN). In a statement dated January 18th, the Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana said it is not part of the coalition and did not endorse the group's conclusions, particularly claims about projected costs associated with the Smart Port Note, while acknowledging that traders have previously raised concerns about the SPN. Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana noted that significant progress has been made through stakeholder engagement aimed at addressing these issues. The association disclosed that it participated in 2 high-level stakeholder meetings last year, convened by the Ghana Shippers Authority in collaboration with the Inter-Ocean Maritime and Logistic Institute. These engagements involved key players across the trade and maritime value chain. According to the Importers and Exporters Association, stakeholders at the meetings were assured that the Smart Port Note would be implemented at no cost to importers. The Executive Secretary, Samson Asaki, had earlier raised concerns about possible duplication of systems, operational clarity, and potential cost. He said those concerns were addressed with assurances that any associated costs will be borne by exporting countries. The association expressed concern that the coalition issued a statement without broad consultation. They also reiterated strong support for the integrated custom management system, describing it as the backbone of Ghana's port clearance and trade facilitation framework. To sports, Senegal were crowned champions of the 2025 African Cup of Nations after a gritty 1-0 extra-time victory over host Morocco in a tense final at the Prince Moulay Abdellah Stadium in Rabat. In a contest defined by fine margins, discipline and nerves, the Teranga Lions held firm under intense late pressure to deny Morocco a first AFCON title on home soil. The breakthrough came in extra time after a mistake proved costly for the host. Senegal pounced to score the decisive goal, sending the travelling fans into raptures and silencing a packed Moroccan crowd. Morocco dominated long spell of possessions and pushed relentlessly for an equalizer. Senegal, however, remained compact and organized, soaking up pressure and managing the game expectantly in the dying moment. The hosts came agonizing close to forcing penalties. Moments later, Senegal almost sealed the game when Sharif missed a glaring chance, sending a rebound wide with a goal at his mercy. Despite that miss, Senegal held their nerve as Morocco launched one final assault on stoppage time. The African champions slowed the tempo, kept the ball in advanced areas. At the final whistle, relief and celebration swept through the Senegalese camp. It was a triumph built on resilience rather than flair, but one that underlined their pedigree on the continental stage. For Morocco, the defeat was heartbreaking. Ruled by a passionate home crowd, they fell just short of turning dominance into glory. For Senegal, it was another golden chapter in the AFCON history, hard-earned, dramatic and unforgettable. In showbiz, famous Nollywood actress Mercy Johnson has finally secured the release of TikToker Eddie Bliss from detention. Eddie regained her freedom on Saturday, January 17th, after Mercy Johnson dropped all charges against her following public outcry on social media platforms. The development came hours after popular social media critics Very Dark Man criticized the actress and accused her of oppression, noting that defamation is a civil case. Joining other Nigerians in seeking Bliss release from police detention, Very Dark Man issued an ultimatum to the actress. A few hours later, he announced the TikToker creator's release. The Daily Post report that Eddie Bliss was arrested some days ago over a video shared on TikTok in December 2025 about Mercy Johnson and her husband. Quoting QT Jaws as a source, Eddie Bliss further claimed that the actress allegedly connived with the mistress' household to cause her miscarriage. On some national update, 3 men have admitted running 70 million tree planting scam, taking advantage of changes that gave people early access to their pension pot. Matthew Pickard and Stephen Greenaway and Paul Laval pleaded guilty to fraudulent trading in relation to Bournemouth-based Ethical Forestry Limited, the now defunct business called people, offering them a pension review in which they were advised to withdraw money from their employer schemes and invest in tree plantation in Costa Rica. Investigators said the three had no plans to look after and harvest the timber. Pension Liberation Force scheme offered to give people early access to their funds and involved transferring the pension pot to a scheme set up by fraudsters. A concrete office block rises from the street in Bournemouth. The late 20th century building rises around 9 stories. Ethical Forestry operated from its office block before the business went into liquidation in 2016. Several hundred employees will contact people from Ethical Forestry call center in Bournemouth. Rather than receiving independent advice, the firm offering advice had been hired by Pickard Greenway and was paid commission on everyone they referred back to Ethical Forestry. Julie Betley from Oxford was one of the more than 3,000 people who fell victim to the scam. She did not have a workplace pension but wanted to invest some money left her by a relative to help with her retirement. Investing in Costa, as it became the first tropical country to reverse deforestation, looked like it would not only be good for the planet. That was according to the bronchials and seasonal update she still keeps in a glossy folder. The paperwork even included GPS coordinates for all her trees, but when she searched them online, satellite images showed there was nothing there. J.C. Williams led a team of investigators, lawyers and accountants as they tried to piece together what had happened to investors' funds. The SFO said by 2012, it was clear the scheme was never going to pay back investors, let alone give a return on their cash. Instead of winding Ethical Forestry up, the directors gathered in more money, creating a so-called Ponzi scheme and using some of the cash coming in to make small payments to existing investors. For more money, they went to directors who also bought a complex tax avoider scheme to protect their income. And that's how we end it for now on the morning news update. Do want to log on to all streaming platforms at Ghana Talks Radio for more news stories. I am Deborah Adorso. I will be back with subsequent news bulletin later in the afternoon. Until then, do have a good morning.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with Ghana Talks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With Ghana Talks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. Ghana Talks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries.
Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials. From Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bless,
Deborah Adoso,
and I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Ghana Talks Radio, UK, Abrochimemu, era from Ghana Muha at the sound system, which is spinning machine papa, a free amana never be good among Ghana Muha. It is a we a year, we engagement, we wedding, we birthday party. Political parties are more rally, some way sorry, more crusade. So we'll book carnival or any kind of event. Now we'll pay spinning machine papa a boa sound in the moon at the dia any American for GTR sounds at the Emao. Your live band in so our tones at the frame, ya beat me about the boa. Ama ujume dia woody and so at me I come up. Ya wa enkan pupuni mantemo anya aponchi hotel a hope pepe and a yebutu odian said obe fre and penny 4 was 0546 960510 GTR sounds a more de angaza.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with Ghana Talks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With Ghana Talks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. Ghana Talks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries.
Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials. From Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bless,
Deborah Adoso,
and I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. morning to you, wonderful listeners of Ghana Talks Radio. You are welcome to Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. This is the second segment of the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. And as you know what, right here we dive into topical and national issues. We come along with knowledgeable guests who are going to dive into the issues, share their informed perspective on opinions on issues that matter to you every morning right here on the show. You want to log on to your favorite online radio station. We are streaming live on Facebook at Ghana Talks Radio, streaming live as well on YouTube at Ghana Talks Radio. You can send in your comments and let's get interactive. Right. This morning, I'm elated to have in the studios with me an NDC communicator. This morning, we have Mr. Samuel Okine, NDC Regional Communications team member. Good morning to you, Mr. Samuel.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. Please, can you adjust your microphone a bit? Right. Okay. Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you too?
I'm good. It's good to see you again.
Yeah, same here.
It's been a
very
long
time.
Long while.
Yeah.
But I hope all is well.
Oh, everything is cool. I was not feeling well last year, but then now by the
God.
grace of God, everything is fine.
We thank God.
Okay.
We bless God for good health. Happy New Year to you too.
Many happy returns.
I think I'm now seeing you, so it's right for me to say
yes,
happy
next
New
year by this time I'll come and see your Range Rover outside.
Amen. Rightfully said. How has it been so far? How is the New Year treating you?
Oh, it's okay.
It's okay.
With the exception of the fact that I was not feeling all that well. For the economy, everything is moving on well, as was expected in 2024. So I can say that the economy, things are not, I'll not say everything is 100% okay.
It's 100% okay.
But the little achievement we've had so far, it will really be good that we appreciate how far we have come as a country, looking at the level of inflation, looking at the level of unemployment and some other areas where the government has done well. We can't do anything less than to be appreciative.
Right. So how would you rate this government so far? I mean, we've seen their first year in office. We are in the second year, 2.0.
You see, for me, I am an NDC person. And so therefore, in fact, if you look at the achievement we have seen so far, if I want to add politically partisan politics, I would say that I will score my party 10 over 10.
10 over 10.
Yes, but on the basis of reality, you cannot score the party 10 over 10 simply because we have seen some economic upturns. But I can give my party 9 over 10, looking at what we have seen so far. You see, we live in a system where our opposition party, especially the main opposition party, MPP, they are refusing to understand and to accept the reality. And they are trying so hard through the media and some other platforms to make sure that they prevent others from also understanding and accepting the reality. But every day I've been saying that as young people and as educated young people as we are, who are willing to do politics, we are not willing to do politics simply because we want to do politics. But we are doing politics because we feel when we add our voices, the country can be positioned in a proper shape. That is why we are doing politics. Do you get my point?
Yes, please.
So without even relying on the information of other people, we can get certain informations ourselves. Today, with the help of a phone, just a click, you can read something about Ghana. For nothing at all, you should be able to see that inflation has dropped from somewhere 23 to 5.4. This one, you don't need somebody to come and tell you that the President Mahama administration is not working.
It's not working.
Know that when we live in a multi-party system, there should be that somebody who would try to let you feel that the ruling party is not working. That's the kind of politics we have created for ourselves as a country. But we, the young people who can read and write, if you sit down for somebody to come and tell you that the President Mahama's administration is not working, meanwhile, we promise to bring inflation down, and you can see the numbers. It has been brought down. So if the person says Mahama's administration is not working, what are the basis of that? What is the foundation of that particular statement? So I would say that more often than not, let us not rely on this political communicators, especially. We have some good people who will tell you the truth, that things are heading towards the right way. But more often than not, you get some other people who also come with their mischievous status to make you believe that the government of the day is not performing. But where I sit and looking at the promises President John Dramani Mahama gave during the 2024 campaign, I will see that he is doing well. He's trying his best, and I will score him not less than 9/10.
Not less than 9/10 from Mr. Samuel Okain, the NDC Regional Communications team member. We are glad to have joining us in the studio Mr. Mohammed Sharif, NPP Communications team member. Good morning to you, Mr. Sharif.
Good morning, Ma.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
If you call me Ma, you make me look so old.
No.
Please, I'm a small girl.
Mostly,
good morning, small girl.
Mostly women that I refer to them as a mother. Every woman is a mother.
Every woman is a mother. Every woman is a mother. Happy New Year to you.
Many happy returns.
How's the New Year treating you so far?
I mean, we take it like that. You see, mostly, like I always say, we don't care about just ourselves, but everyone in Ghana. The rich, the poor, the people that find it hard to get their basic needs. So, looking at these people and how the government is, doing things. I wouldn't say it's good, but it's okay. Yeah, we take it like that.
It's okay. Right. Ms. Okai, before we dive into the issue, I just want to seek your opinion on something. What exactly would you want the president to do this year?
I don't have much expectations. Yes, I believed in the reset agenda, and that is why I supported the president to campaign during 2024. In fact, from the basis, for a very long time, I have believed in the NDC, and I believe in the president's ideology. And whatever the president wants to do has been stipulated in our budget. So I don't expect much. But what I expect is that we should all support, so that all the provisions that has been captured in our various budgets, they will be what? Provided. If they are provided, we are going to see Ghana the way we wish to see Ghana.
Right. Sharif, what about you?
I don't know. I expected that my brother will tell us, what the government is preparing to do, with their budget. Because, it's disappointing if you won't be able to boldly tell us that this and that the government is going to do. Basically, you are telling us that with the way we see your government and his performance, you are telling us that that's the same way you see it as well. Because starting a year and you can't pinpoint boldly, this is what and what my government is going to do, then there's a question mark, You see, and mostly what we expected last year, we didn't see them. You see, so we are hoping that they do, but we know that they can again disappoint us, because their communicator is here and he's not able to boldly tell us that our government will do this and that. Then you yourself, but you put it in front of Ghanaians to be like, you are really doing something and you are going to do. So if at the start of a year you can't tell us, we'll do this and that, we'll do, although we know that mostly Mukasa now, but at least you are not even able to tell us, that means that we are about to face a lot, but we see how it goes. Yeah.
We are hoping for the best as a country. Right. In your camp, in the NPP camp, how is the preparation going for the primaries?
It's a great one, honestly. The preparations, it's exciting. When you see the NPP boldly putting their confidence in a man they believe can lead them to power in 2028. I was in the campaign, the Greater Accra Tour. We were with DMB for the whole Accra Tour, and trust me, the reception, I never wanted to believe it. I used to see it on phones, used to see it on TV, how people receive him and other things, and I saw it for myself. It's exciting, and it makes you believe that the NPP are boldly telling Ghanaians that they are not going to do the mistake they did the last time. I mean, they are going to work hard. They are going to make sure that they bring out a leader they believe can push Ghana's development forward. And they also, with their reactions, that they are going to come out in their numbers in the 2028 elections to vote Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to lead Ghana to wherever we want to send the country to.
Right. We are wishing you all the best.
Thank you so
But do you believe that this primaries is going to unite your party?
Definitely, especially with the man we believe in. That's Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. We call him the unifier. It's not just a word that we pose on him, but that's him. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia loves to unite people around him, and knowing whatever that is happening in our party today, he's working towards that. And gradually, even during his campaigns, which constituency he finds himself and he sees that there's some one or two things that are not going or so well, he tries to make sure that things are settled before he leaves there. I was with him in one constituency in Greater Accra. I can't remember the constituency, but they were two women that he brought together. And I mean, when I saw them, they came together and they were on stage talking and hugging each other. I mean, he's the unifier, and definitely he has been saying it in his campaigns that the 2028 elections that we are going to go into after this 31st election, he's going to make sure that he brings together the other aspirants to make sure that there is solid unity for us to lace our boots into the 2028 election. So yes, he's the unifier and he's going to unite the whole MPP.
Right. Mr. Okani, do you see is it
DMB, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
Yeah, DMB, right. Do you see him as a threat to the NDC?
I am not. I don't. Vice President is not a threat to the NDC. It's not at all. Per where I sit, you see, if you look at the 2024 election results, and if you look at the performance of President John Dramani Mahama today, and the comments that are coming even from non-political party people, I mean floating voters, you don't need a prophet to tell you that the country is actually heading towards a proper direction. It is, as you can see, a lot of research institutes have come out with results showing that the Ghanaian, some of the Ghanaian people are okay with the way things are going. So I'm of the belief that if the president is to continue the way he is going, in fact, even if MPP elects Jesus Christ to become their flag bearer, the Ghanaian people will always select the NDC over the MPP. I don't want to go deeper into MPP's internal issues. That is absolutely not my business. But the party is for them, and they know the person that when he or she leads them, the person can take them to where they want to go to. That has nothing to do with me. Mine is somebody who can stabilize the economy of Ghana. And I think that is where Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia failed. And that's exactly the same place President Mahama is performing. So when you put these two people, you see, you can never whitewash the failure of somebody and make the person look white in the eyes of the Ghanaian voters. Kwame Nkrumah said something that the Ghanaian people are very slow to anger. But when their anger is fully established, no political force can prevent them from doing what they want to do. That statement is a very deep statement. The Ghanaian people, we are wise. We are seeing. You can't tell me that the Ghanaian people didn't know that a dollar was around 15 cedis, but today it is around 10 cedis. You can't tell me the Ghanaian people didn't know that inflation was around 23, but today it's around 5.4. You see, normally, when you mention inflation, someone can say, I didn't think inflation above form. Every day I've been saying it, say, you see, MPP, I don't know the way they try to let people believe in certain things. Inflation coming down doesn't necessarily mean that prices are going to come down automatically. If you say that, then it means you don't understand the basic concept of economics. When we talk about inflation, we are talking about the rate at which prices go up, but not the price itself. So when inflation reduces, the only thing you can experience is that the rate at which prices go up comes down. or it doesn't even move at all,
Move
then we can talk about stable inflation, galloping inflation, creeping inflation, and all that. But today, MPP is trying to make people believe that as soon as inflation comes down, then automatically prices are supposed to what? Come down. But ask yourself, the traders who were doing business when inflation was moved to 54%, they are the same traders on the market today. Do you think after inflation moving to 54%, they will not lose any confidence? They will. So even if inflation has dropped, before they can bring their prices down, they have to gather that confidence. And I think that will take some time before they can build the confidence. Because the Ghanaian trader will be like, hey, inflation is high because of what we have experienced in the past. With the exception of goods that their prices are directly related to the exchange rate, that one, a decline in the dollar will actually manifest in the price of the commodity. That one, it is justifiable. So when somebody says that, oh, dollar has reduced, but this particular item, even though it is an imported whatever, but the price is still the same, that one, it is justifiable. You can say that. But you cannot say that as soon as inflation drops, prices of everything should also automatically come down. So MPP, they have their own way of understanding the Ghana law, and they have their own way of understanding the Ghana economics. And they have a way of making people, especially young people, believe in their antics. But I don't care. You see, that big man who will come and sit here and tell you that President Mahama has not done anything. He is using a car. You are not using a car. When he goes to the fuel station, Otofu and but what say President Mahama has done what? Nothing. But I can tell you that the amount of money that big man will use to fuel his car in 2024 has changed automatically in 2025 today. So if that person says that NDC has done nothing, and so therefore NDC must not be supported, fine. It is either the person is engaging in this excessive partisan politics or whatsoever. So for you to see as to whether President Mahama is performing or not, it is your personal discretion. And I mean, so media have personal discretion. So MPP people, all that my brother is saying, Dr. Bawumia is cool and calm. Yes, it is true. But you see, every day I've been telling people that when you want to measure the performance of a leader, these character traits are secondary matters. We voted for you because of something. We voted for you because we want inflation to come down. We voted for you because we want exchange rate to reduce. Because in your own statement, you made us understood that when your fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. So if now the exchange rate has come down and you are in opposition and you say President Mahama has done nothing, then I will say that when the political parties' fundamentals are weak, the reality on the ground will expose them, and they will be confused and they will never know the kind of leader they will select. All the people leading the MPP as a political party, fine, you can describe them with the character traits you are mentioning, but when it comes to political belief, I don't believe in any of them. Why? Was Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia not the head of the economic management team? What was the position of the economy when he left office? Look at somebody like Mr. Brian Champon. He was the Greek minister. At a point in time, Ghana has to go to ECOWAS to borrow food, 27,000 tons of food, when he was an Greek minister. If he has all these ideas that he's preaching, I didn't think a ministerial position I demand. Went to me and deliver. Because at the end of the day, if you want to measure the performance of a leader, a delivery and resource, any slogans, a delivery, any resource, any measure will be near achievement. And you can have a leader who is radical in approach, but at the end of the day, no to say or the economy age na baby. Yenka say ye pobia ne hoduni abe krokro no. Ye pobia obetimi transforming the economy, and that is what we are looking for. So you can whitewash Dr. Bawumia or Brian Champon or whoever they claim. If you look at some of their presidential aspirants, for instance, the comments they make, if you read MPP's party constitution, Article 13, Clause 7, their constitution says that Obia only to my papa, unqualified obedience party. But look at the character of ABV. So I'll say that it is their internal issue. I don't see Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to be a threat to the NDC because he has come before, he has been the head of the economic management before, and we saw how he destroyed our economy. So it is up to them if they believe that he is a sellable candidate or he is the most popular, and so therefore they have to give him the mantle and try to come and deceive Ghanaians into believing that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia can deliver this time around. I am telling you that it is false, because even during his campaign, he's unable to campaign well. Right, how can a vice president be telling his people that me na me ma monya sika.
All
Sika no nya no na ochiche mo.
Thank you, Mr.
But then we will
Okai.
come back to
All
that
right.
place.
All
Thank
right.
you.
So one thing I would love, I mean, as a communicator, you have to always try to listen very attentively. You listen to what your opponent is saying so that you don't misquote them. You understand? And that is, I mean, that's the nature of NDC communicated, and that is exactly what my brother here has demonstrated. I mean, in talking about Dr. Mahmoud Baumia some few minutes ago, I wasn't talking about his calmness or whatever he was saying. You, the host, was asking about unity. Are we sure? And I was telling him he's the unifier, and I tried explaining that, and I tried explaining what he can do about that. I never tried to, say something like personal traits or what he was saying. So just look at it. And he was relying on that to say some things. Now you see what he is saying about Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. I want him to know that you see this vision that we always say about Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. And yes, it's something that we say, Kekeo, but it is manifesting. Some of them. You see the reduction in fuel prices today, that some of the mates and other drivers keeps increasing the what do we call it, the fares and other things. You see, in 2023, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia sat down and made it clear, and there are videos of that. He told us, he wants to see Ghana, our country, someday, and that's what he wants to do. That we move public transport from dependence on either diesel or petrol to fully electric. That was 2023. And in that, he brought this electric buses. And today, the difficulties we are facing in the public transport, it just intervened not too long ago. You see that? So this tells you that when we say that he's a man of vision, we are not just saying words, but it is manifesting. What he said then, it is happening now.
Right.
You see that? And also look, they say things and they don't consider what exactly is happening on the real grounds. He said, and he was saying that a big man will sit here who is driving a car, whom afterwards he will go and pick his car, go and get fuel at a low price and drive. Meanwhile, I don't even know. You see, the number of people that are walking down, that are home, that are sitting home, expecting the 24-hour economy to give them jobs to be able to provide for themselves the basic needs. You don't think about those people. You are thinking about someone driving a car, and you have made petrol price low for him, and you are going to boast about that. Now let me make it clear. The NDC problem of their reset agenda is that they have to relax and see how to tackle issue rather than having their hands on some petty issues and they are making noise about them. Reducing fuel price is not a new thing. Our previous government, haven't we ever reduced prices of fuel?
It has.
I can remember in 2023, we reduced fuel. 2020 rather. 2020. That was 25th September. You can check your records.
Oh yeah, it's true. 2023 fuel prices were reduced.
Don't misquote me. So you see their problem I was talking about earlier. I made it clear. I said it and I made it clear again. You see that. So this is not something you should make noise. The things that we expect that you should make noise about is these your flagship policies. And those are the 24-hour economy like we always talk about. The Women Development Bank we always talk about. The 1 million coders we always talk about. These are the things we expect you to do and make noise on them. But there are some petty things that you see that they touch on them and they begin to make some noise I don't even understand. You are coming to research. You are coming to reset, and there are some serious things that we are expecting that you have your hands on them. And those are the things, if you make noise about them, it can shut us up. But some petty things that we see it happening. I remember my senior communicator in the MPP, Dennis Miracle Abuaji, was talking about something that I see that, yes, this is very true about the NDC. That look, when every government comes, the government, we know that the government for schools, they build toilets, other things. These things we see them, but we talk of some certain things that makes impact, that changes the atmosphere. You understand? When we came, the free SHS changed an atmosphere. That was how we were expecting the NDC to allow the 24-hour economy, change the atmosphere, change the economy. You understand? They always talk about, you see, why we always talk and then we use this, your inflation is down at a single digit, dollar is down, is that you make noise about it, but we don't see the real effect on it, on the people. So you keep on telling us that we don't know the meaning of inflation, and that's why we are expecting that prices should be down or whatever. You make about the noise about the thing so much that at least the effect should be very obvious.
Right.
You see, then why shouldn't we say?
Okay.
I mean, but one thing I will say is he should stop misquoting. He should listen well and try to know how to go about whatever the opponent is saying, and that's what will help as a communicator. I think that's an advice I should give to NDC communicator. They make that mistake a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sharif.
Advice taking, you know.
Right. Advice
Thank
taking.
you.
Yeah, I should apply it. All right. Thank you. At this juncture, we will zoom straight into our main topic for discussion. So, for our first topic, calls to remove politics for the fight against corruption. So NPP former aspirant Dr. Kennedy Arthur has called on President John Dramani Mahama to intensify Ghana's fight against corruption. Sorry.
Galamsey has become a center stage who
I
has
know, right?
taken over.
Because the NDC is not doing something convincing about that.
Let's hope for the best. So he has called on President John Dramani Mahama to intensify Ghana's fight against corruption and ensure it is carried out without political bias. Dr. Kennedy said, while recent actions suggest renewed commitment, the pace of prosecution is too slow and risks losing public confidence. According to him, Ghana's anti-corruption efforts focus too much on past cases instead of preventing corruption before it happens. He stressed that accountability must be applied fairly to all political actors regardless of party affiliation. Dr. Kennedy warned that if prosecution appears selective, especially if officials linked to the ruling National Democratic Congress are spared, the credibility of the entire anti-corruption agenda could be undermined. His comments come amid renewed attention on the Maslog case involving former CEO Sedinam Tamaklo, who is expected to appear before a U.S. judge on January 21st to determine whether she will be extradited to Ghana. Madam Tamaklo was sentenced in absentia in April to 10 years imprisonment with hard labor after being convicted on 78 counts, including causing financial loss to the state, stealing, and money laundering. The offenses related to the misuse of Maslog funds between 2013 and 2016. Dr. Kennedy said cases like this highlight the need for a firm, swift, and non-partisan anti-corruption framework, urging President Mahama to step up leadership and ensure justice is applied equally across the board. So this is what Dr. Kennedy Arthur is calling for. That it's high time we take politics out of the efforts to fight corruption. Right, Mr. Samuel, what do you make of his statement? Do you think it's high time
Corruption?
We take corruption out of our fight against corruption?
To me, Samuel, look, I see corruption to be the overarching reason why Ghana is not developing. And anyway, anyhow, we can get rid of corruption, I will support it. Anyhow, any way, legally, any way possible that we can get rid of corruption in Ghana, I will support it. In fact, I support what the man said, given that corruption is one of the biggest problems why Ghana is not progressing. In fact, we have not even tackled waste. You can only talk about waste when there is no corruption. But we find ourselves in a situation where we've not been able to even fight corruption. How then can we even talk about waste? Today, you see some of the government projects. Last time in my area, I did a video commentary about a toilet facility that has been left from about 2019. After completion, it was never open to the public. It amounts to waste. Why should it be so? Meanwhile, there are people there who that thing can benefit them. But the facility has been closed till date. Yes, I got there. In fact, I got hit and I was like, no, let me do a video of it. And I did a video. My MC even called me and questioned me about it. And I said, no, I am asking questions that the public needs to know. I am asking questions that I don't have answers to. And I believe that these questions that I'm asking, the public is also
asking
the same question. That why is it there? If there is any, that is why when you're an MC or you're an MP or whoever it is your responsibility to have that kind of close communication with your people, the opinion leaders in your constituency and then in your municipality, so that you can be giving them briefs about some of these things. But since those things are not going on, everybody will feel and they will be abiding put on your day fee. But maybe on the side of government, maybe a BB potting be a block is at the end. So I am just asking what the public is asking. Now, before I will go on corruption, I would like to talk about one or two things my brother mentioned. You see, I want my brother to understand that the 24-hour economy promise, yes, it is a promise. And the NDC has never run away from that. And we can never run away from it. Today, as we are speaking, when you go to offices like Ghana Passport Office, they are doing 24-hour economy. DVLA is doing 24-hour economy. Universal Motors, they are doing 24-hour economy. Last week, I read a statement that Chief Justice is also looking forward to implement 24-hour economy in the court. That policy is a big policy that if we rush into implementing it, it can crash our economy. You see, he mentioned free SHS. That free SHS came to change the atmosphere. It is true. It became the topic of the day to the extent that you can find GHS in Kwalabini signboard and no more money mobile no, you know, I say vote for me. My education depends on you. That is what we saw. We rushed into implementing free SHS and we saw the problems. The problems that Emma free SHS ain't attractive even till today. The current government is forcing, but still people don't see it as an attractive something. Because of one, access and a source of funding. Before you bring a policy, you have to look at the pillars of the policy. What can sustain this policy? You can never run a 24-hour economy without having adequate security. You can never run a 24-hour economy without having a robust energy system. Just recently, what did you hear the government did? Energy sector debt down. You're training in sustainable power.
I don't think all was paid. Part of
yes, but we've made the step. Yeah. Do you get my point? Look, don't interject, please. That kind of stable power. So before we can roll onto the 24-hour economy, it is not any policy bill. Just to ensure that the economy is running 247 on the clock. That's all. And to make sure that the economy is running. Also, I'm watching with me at top, the opposite with me a bank, with me a BBR. That is the basic concept behind 24-hour economy. Like initially, when you go to passport office, maybe after 5, you will not go and meet them. But the 24-hour economy says that even after 5, when you go there, you do what? You go and meet them.
You have to remember.
Obiani one more. Obey 24-hour economy. Obey such a policy on green security. Obiani obey BBC on green energy. Oh yes, sir, you are rushing into implementing the thing. So that is what I want my brother to understand. That we never promised a hasty implementation of the 24-hour economy. Right. And they cannot give the NDC timelines into implementing their policy. At the end of the day, the end shall justify the means. The Ghanaian people are going to assess us. They are going to mark us based on what we have been able to deliver. It is a bibi ompona ye nyankada unyamiase. That because at the end of the day, and not Ghana for better no the now let us come to corruption.
Yes, please.
From 2020 to 2024, Auditors General Report 2020, 12 billion financial mismanagement. 2021, 15 billion financial mismanagement. 2022, 17 billion. 2024, 18 billion Ghana cedis.
Wasted.
Yes. Financial irregularities. I am not saying it. If you Auditors General Report page 2, table 1, or page 2, table 1. The amount of money that has been mismanaged has been captured there. What does it tell you? How many of these people, how many of the people responsible for this mismanagement, any yedina etimi agina court, and I say etimi edina agina mrenim na ye jailing, and I say etimi agi sika no one. We hear a lot of corruption issues, but at the end of the day, we only fight few. Look at the time we established the Office of the Special Prosecutor in 2017, and it became operational in 2018.
It was 2018.
Office of the Special Prosecutor. It was established in 2017, Act 959, 2017, and then it became operational in February 2018. That is the record. If you don't know, you can check. Since then, Bisa said, the motive I yet establishes have we been able to achieve it as a country?
Right.
If you are a rational human being, the Office of the Special Prosecutor came to meet Auditor General. It came to meet Shraj. It came to meet Yuku. All these institutions are there to help us fight corruption. But the more we go ahead, the more corruption issues get over and over. That tells you that the excessive partisan has destroyed our fight against corruption long ago, not now. You see, if you read the first office of the first special prosecutor who manned that office, Mr. Martin Amidu, in his resignation letter, paragraph 4, or see the excessive government interference in his activity to the extent that the then president Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo was trying to direct him on how to deal with the Ejapade matter. He stated it in the letter. And that is how mixing politics with the fight against corruption has destroyed the whole concept and the whole idea. I am not saying President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo supports corruption. But why was he interfering? Because he feels that Ejapade something would dent the image of the MPP in a way. And so therefore, if I have a kind of control over the prosecutor, why don't I call him to what? To order. That is where the politics comes in and destroys our fight against corruption. So until these institutions are independent of political parties, until politicians have the will to take their minds off these corruption fighting institutions, we can never fight corruption. Today, as we are speaking, if you go and read our corruption perception index, Ghana has dropped. I am not saying it is as a result of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo or Bawumia or President Mahama, but it is as a result of our inability to fight corruption. Because whoever is in power, whether Mahama or Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo or Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and the person is not having the political will to distance himself from the fight against corruption, we can still not fight corruption. So in fact, I side with the man, and I believe that it will be prudent and it will be okay, it will be legitimate, and it will be nice if political parties shift away from the fight against corruption and leave these corruption fighting institutions to be independent. Today, what do we see? When you arrest Chairman to me, you have all the MPP communicators saying that government is doing witch hunting. The same way, when you arrest Samuel Okai, you have all my NDC communicators saying that the government is doing what? Witch hunting. That is where the political thing is destroying our fight against corruption. So I think as a country, if we really want to see Ghana the way we want to see Ghana, I think that man's advice is a legit one, and we have to listen to it and put it into practice. Not just speaking for it, not just denying, and my party, I say, and no, it's not about that. Let us look at the idea. Let us look at the weight it carries. Let us look at the final results. If it is fully implemented, and then first one as right. Now you go by that idea. But I believe that my president is also doing well when it comes to fighting against corruption. If you compare my party to what we saw in 2023 to 2017, you can say that there has been a massive improvement. If you check the corruption perception index, the facts are there for us to see ourselves.
Right, thank you. So let me ask my question. Okay. It's like you're in a hurry. Sure. You just want to cook him. Sure. Anyways, calm down. Sure. Do you believe that our fight against corruption is moving on a slower pace, and why?
Yeah, it's obvious. Yes. And you know, the MPP, we always want to make ourselves clear that we don't support corruption. And we never love to see it happen, especially in our tenure. You get it? So mostly tackling corruption issues with the NDC, I always want all of us to stay on a neutral ground, that we always say that we shouldn't affiliate politics to it, because we have to look at we have to look at ways we can fight corruption to make sure that we collapse it. Although it is very hard in Africa, you see, but mostly the MPP always talk, and they want to put it like is the MPP, the NDC talk to make it look like it's the MPP that love corruption, or we don't fight it. Now, you made it clear here that we made available the office of the special prosecutor. If we weren't having in mind to fight corruption, why would we bring that? You get it? And we didn't bring that to do any favor for us, but to do a favor to the country in its fight against corruption. Fighting corruption has been something I think we've ever discussed on an issue like that here. That I always say that, look, we want to fight corruption. Let's look at better ways we can fight it than always focusing on the political side.
On the political side.
It will be hard to help us, because it grows from somewhere with a mindset somewhere that it is going to be done at the political side. Growing up, when everyone think of corruption, the person start to say that me call politics more, me this papa, and that's where they think of corruption.
Yes.
So that's why I say that let's fight it from begin. And this is something we shouldn't try to be quick about, because the mindset about Africans alone is making it hard for us to fight some things. And a lot of us have grown with those mindsets. So if it is going to be fight solely on these big men at the political side, it will always be hard, and we'll bring in all sort of initiatives, but we won't see any effect. You see, this is how I always expect the NDC to let us sit and know how to go about this. But they always want to put the MPP in that, and that's not it. When we brought the office of the special prosecutor, we dealt with a lot of issues. We are fighting corruption as well. So please, let's fight it. It is something that is pulling our country down. It is something that is making our development slow. So tackle it as a citizen. Don't try to say that this person has done this. No. Are you going to say that we don't fight corruption as well? We do. And you see, corruption should be fought everywhere. In our schools, our churches, children growing up, we should make sure that there is always transparency. We should always, and that's why I said earlier, we shouldn't be quick about it, because our mindsets wouldn't allow that. It wouldn't allow us see that change, anytime soon. No. So look, the children growing up in our schools, our churches, the Sunday schools, everywhere, let's try to put the messages out there. Let's try to look at ways to curb these things from within, so that they see the consequences they will face when they attempt these things. Growing up, then they will develop, these mindsets will now change in them, and then you will see that growing up, they wouldn't try that. I don't know. I think this is obvious, and that we all know, say, if we are to fight corruption, first thing, yes, we have to put politics aside.
Yes.
And we have to come together and fight it, because it goes against us as a country a lot. So one thing I just don't like to see the NDC do is to put that always on the NDC. You see, the MPP. You see that when he was trying to talk about that, he was saying that the NDC, the MPP during our tenure, this and that happened, this and that happened. We lost it, we lost that. The MPP didn't want that to happen. The MPP brought an office that fights that. The MPP government doesn't follow some. You see, sometimes there are problems with some appointees that you see that, look, this person is with a mindset that he's coming to do this. And see, as a president or as someone who is in charge of the whole government, you wouldn't know how the person, did that, or how the person is able to do that. It's from their mindset, you see. And you only say this person will put you into this shame if the person is appointed. I don't know if you are getting me. Yeah. So this is how we should fight corruption. And also with our appointments, we shouldn't always base on politics to do appointments. If we are going to be honest, it is clear that doing our appointments, even people that are going to be in charge of these accountability institutions, they are choosing from our political parties. So if I'm choosing from a political party and someone does wrong there, how do I boldly and confidently fight that? Because it will go against me. And now, you see, I want to touch a bit with the 24-hour economy my brother was talking about. You see, the NDC, their problem is that, you see how they beautified words about the 24-hour economy in 2024 when we're walking up to the 2024 elections, from 2023 and other things. How they were beautifying it. I remember their senior communicator, Sami Jemfi, on TV, sitting and beautifying the words of 24-hour economics, 24-hour economy, and you will love it. You will be in a haste to see it happen because it's going to change the country. The MPP love Ghana, and they strategically put together their policies that they don't come to power to now see how to plan the policy to implement it. No, we do it before we come to power. You see the free SHS, when we came in, we started it. The NDC was saying a lot of things about the 24-hour economy, and they came in and they are now telling us, say, they have to make plans about it. They have to make sure that it is done effectively. Now, and also he was saying that the 24-hour economy has started working in some institutions, in some, government organizations. And I want to let him know and tell us that, what is the prime objective or aim of the 24-hour economy? Is it not to give us jobs? And tell me the number of people the 24-hour economy has employed. Tell me where you've said that people should bring their CVs and that 24-hour economy at this organization has provided jobs, has provided slots for jobs, and people should come and apply. We haven't seen that. So if you are telling us, say, 24-hour economy has started in some institutions and we don't see its effect, then why are you bringing it? We want 24-hour economy to give us jobs. The youth desperation for jobs is so high that, look, I can say that they mainly voted the NDC because of this 24-hour economy. So you shouldn't today come here and be beautifying words about it. Do it. We want to see you do it because it's going to help our country, and we always wish you so much well on that. So stop beautifying words. Stop trying to change. And the 24-hour economy is about all inclusive. We should do this. The citizens shouldn't wait for government to do this and that. No, please. Please, we are into your second year. We beg you, and we want to see the 24-hour economy implemented and employ numbers of youth, numbers of Ghanaians. That's what we want to see you do.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Sharif. So in the statement I read, he said that Ghana's anti-corruption efforts focus too much on past cases instead of preventing corruption before it happens. Is that a case, Mr. Okain? And then what can we do as a country to prevent corruption before they happen?
That is why I mentioned the political parties. You see, I should have responded to certain things my brother was saying. But I'll come back to you.
Yeah.
You see, this 24, I don't know how the corruption issue even jumped into 24-hour economy.
I equally don't know how the corruption issue jumped on that. So I had to go on it too.
I don't know how the corruption issue, you mentioned 24-hour economy in your submission. I decided to respond. So I responded that earlier on, then I came to the meeting. You see, this idea of 24-hour economy, that's why I started by saying that every people are refusing to understand.
You have 5 minutes.
Don't worry. They're refusing to understand and accept the reality, and they are trying to prevent other people from also understanding and accepting the reality. You see, in my brother's earlier submission, when he was talking, he said the fuel price was reduced in somewhere 2022, 2023, which means I am aware it is true. But before you even make that assertion, ask yourself, how much was it? Before he continue,
I want to make it. He should always be exact. He should, because you heard me said it. You heard me say it. So you shouldn't be misquoting me.
Right. Thank you.
I made it clear that 2020, and you are now saying that 2020, 2020.
Yeah,
no.
I think he corrected himself. So it will be fair to
2020. If you claim that fuel prices were reduced, you see, the significance of the reduction is very, very important. Na eyahin ena mote so buy. Mo beto na hin ena mote so ansa na do that amount na mo kan. Do you get my point? You see, corruption doesn't only happen with people stealing, but even the way we think. My brother said it that today people are looking for appointment, and then they are like, oh, when I join a political party, I'll be what? I'll be rich. I'll be that. Yes. If you look at when President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo was a president, obi timi ye boni na ABS say ye de ne ekom la nimu. Otimi throw letter or say I've cleared him. I'm not saying he was wrong to be clearing people, but when you do that as a president, you are preventing the fight against corruption, and that is why it looks corruption. You see, corruption cases are always coterminous with the lifespan of the leaders in power. As soon as the party goes to opposition, corruption cases are never it ends there. The new party comes. The party goes to opposition, then it ends there. And then always, if you look at the corruption fighting party, it looks when NDC comes to power, the focus is on MPP appointees. When MPP also comes to power, the focus is on NDC appointees. Under few circumstances where you see a government being bold, subjecting his appointees to face accountability in the country. So we hardly see those things.
So you say that is a selective prosecution.
Very good. Do you understand? All because of how we have involved politics in the fight against corruption. All these democratic institutions that help us to fight corruption were established by the constitution, but the leadership of these institutions are appointed by the president. So automatically, some of these people become puppets to the president. Say, case they can receive a call, do it like this. We saw some during the matter of Mr. Japa and Mr. Atuforsin, their ambulance case.
Yes.
We heard an audio where somebody was trying to tell a judge how to handle the case just for somebody to be seen in jail. And that is what corruption, being excessive partisan can destroy. That is how it can destroy corruption. Because he feels, oh, I am the party in power, and so therefore if I speak to the judge, or if I speak to this person, I'll have the case the way I want it to go. What it means is that these corruption fighting institutions, they are not really independent. They are not really independent. So they can't even fight the existing corruption related issues. How much more putting in place measures to prevent it? Even the problems that are on their table, they've not been able to fight it since we established the office of the special prosecutor. If we have not spent, we have spent more than 1 billion Ghana cedis from 2017 to 2024 on the office of the special prosecutor. So something that we are spending money on. I did a bit of procurement at the Accra Technical University, so I know value for money. Do you understand?
Yes.
Something that we are spending money on. What are we getting in return?
You should be wrapping up.
Yes. We are spending money on these things. We are spending fine, even if they cannot arrest. Why are they not putting those measures we are talking about in place to prevent the corruption from happening? It is as a result of the excessive partisan. You see, they arrest my party member, like I said earlier on. I have to come and defend, because at the end of the day, it will dent the image of the political party. So we don't have any choice than to go after the institutions. So we have done that continuously, and then in fact, it has placed the institutions to fight corruption in a certain environment that they cannot even act for themselves. Do you get my point? So I am of the view that these institutions are weak, and that is why they cannot put up mechanisms to prevent corruption. They can only go after those that their names have been mentioned by these political parties. You see, Ora alone has come out with a lot of cases, but ask yourself, why are we not able to fight it now? Why should those things happen in the first place? Look, we live in a country where somebody takes money. I want to construct a sky train. At the end of the day, money goes, sky train doesn't come, and we can't fight it. We can't call them for accountability. And when you talk, people will defend.
Right.
Do you get my point? So the excessive partisan in this country, that is why we are unable to fight corruption. So if we can shift our political spectacles, if we can shift from the fight against corruption, look, if the person is your party member, at the end of the day, what he has done is even denting the image of your party. So why don't you allow the the bodies, the institutions to take the person on, so that at least it will distance that person from your party's image, then you have your party clean, then you are going your way. But at the end of the day, because of the excessive partisan, when the issue comes, we just try to support it in a way, and then we go our way.
Right.
You understand?
Thank
That
you.
is why fighting against corruption has become a very difficult thing.
Has become a very difficult thing. Thank you, Mr. Lukai. Right. Do you think that current prosecution appear selective, just as he mentioned? Do you agree with that?
Yes, I can say something like that.
All right.
I can. Yes, I agree with him.
Yeah. Why do you think so?
And that was what I was saying earlier about this politics affiliation and the way we go about the appointments. Sometimes, yes, they don't make it too obvious, but we know. And that is what makes it this way. You see, if an appointee in charge of this accountability institutions is to deal with the issue that is with a member, an opposition member, it's always different from the person that their political party is in power. I don't know if you are getting it.
Yes.
It's always the way they treat issues with. Look, when it comes to dealing issues with someone who is in opposition, I mean, they go about it aggressively. They want to even look. Sometimes evidences and other things won't be intact, but they are in haste to get a person. This is the problem. But you see that immediately it is someone in their government, they are slow about it.
But don't you think at least let me say, if I don't sound biased, with the issue of Sedinam Tamaklo, don't you think this current administration has actually speed up the process for her to be extradited right here in the country, for her to continue her jail term? Because I learned she is also an NDC member.
You see, for that one, mostly I don't like talking about it, but to see them finish with it, to see them do it.
Yeah, so we have to wait.
We have to wait to see, because mostly for the NDC, and that's one problem I've always said, that I have with them. They don't relax to complete something to be able to boost about their performance. But even doing it, about to start during, and they are already talking. You see, this is an issue that we are all involved.
Yes.
We want to see how that should be there. You see that.
Yeah.
So we are waiting. So in doing it, they should make sure they look at ways to go about this diligently. And do it very well.
Right.
And don't be like, oh yeah, we are doing. No.
Yeah.
And consider. Exactly.
Right. So lastly, on this particular issue, what are some of the steps you would require that this current administration, implement to make sure that they fight corruption head on? Because it looks like as part of their campaign message, they spoke about oral, that they'll bring up oral to make sure that whoever looted from the state is being dealt with. And looking at how things are going, it's likely that they might lose power if oral doesn't actually bring results or prosecute those that have looted from the state.
Very good. Let me make this thing clear to you. ORA doesn't prosecute. It is not true.
But they aid in that they do the investigation, they send their results. And
ORA is just like a conveyor belt. Oh, I suspect this woman has committed a crime, or he has done so and so, he has wasted resources that is supposed to belong to Ghana, and so therefore these are my evidences. Do you get my point?
Yes,
so
please.
ORA will now give all these informations to the prosecuting agencies to do deeper investigation to ascertain as to whether whatever the ORA has reported is substantive enough for prosecution or not.
Right.
So
we should
ORA doesn't prosecute.
Right. So we should rather be
And
relying
today,
on
as
the
we are speaking,
prosecutor.
all the bigger cases on the table of the Attorney General are cases that was presented by ORA.
By ORA.
So if the Attorney General fails or Ghana fails, then it means ORA has also what? Failed.
Yes.
Because ORA's work ends with submitting the information to either the Attorney General, Office of the Special Prosecutor, YUKU, SHRAJ, or these corruption fighting institutions. So that is the work of the ORA. There is a limit. In fact, it is not something that has been established by an act of parliament.
Yes.
But it's a group or it's somebody's initiative that, look, you, this team, gather all the investigations you have about corruption related issues for me, or be there. Any Ghanaian who feels he or she has any corruption related issue against somebody should bring that information to what? To you. Now, if you are the ORA, after receiving that thing, you don't have the prosecution powers. You submit it to either the Attorney General, YOKO, Office of the Special Prosecutor, for them to do the prosecution. So anybody who says that ORA is failing is not true. ORA has never failed. In fact, they have gathered more than 100 cases. So if you tell me ORA has failed, it is wrong. But what I'm trying to say is that we should strengthen these our corruption fighting institutions so that when they receive the case, they can go deeper into the case and come out with a lasting solution. That is what we should be thinking about. But for us to think that, oh, the inception of ORA has come to solve all our corruption issues, and so therefore if ORA is there and corruption is still happening, then it means ORA has not worked. That is entirely true, because there are corruption fighting institutions there before the ORA came. So going forward now, I'm still with my opinion that I think these political parties should distance themselves away from the fight against corruption, and then going forward, Mama should be very objective. That kind of feeling, this is my party member, this is that thing, should be out of the game. If he really wants to fight corruption, because corruption is one of the, look, if President Mahama doesn't construct road, if President Mahama doesn't reduce the price of fuel, if inflation doesn't come down, and he is able to fight corruption alone, I tell you that Ghanaian people will vote for him again. Because corruption is one of the problems that nobody likes it. Not even the word corruption itself, or corruption, you get my point. So I would say that we should distance ourselves from being excessively partisan, and then President Mahama should be objective and focused. You see, President Mahama has always been the smartest president in Africa, and he will continue to be. You see, before Ansana said the name Tamaklu issue, people were on TV and we are hunting Kanoforiata, and it looks as if Ghana, we don't have laws. And why are we arrested Abu Trika and we are not bringing Kanoforiata? And why is said the name Tamaklo is there and we are now forcing Oforiata to come? Now that said the name Tamaklo, and also red light, I feel you are quiet. What again can you defend? You cannot defend anything. And for Mumrano face him. Now, if you free the fight against corruption,
Right. Thank you, Mr. Sheriff. What immediate measures do you think this administration can employ to fight corruption, or even strengthen the efforts against corruption?
Yes, I've always said this, and I'll say it again, and that is one thing. And my brother hammered on that we should just take away politics. We shouldn't consider the fact that this person is in my party, and mostly it's always hard. I don't know why our leaders are finding it so hard to do so, honestly. But look, we have, I don't know, but sometimes I think that if this corruption, accountability institutions can come together, where these people that will be chosen to be in charge of those places will be very far away from politics. And look, even if it can be the security agencies, that look, they are bringing these bodies together to fight this. Look, this is what I think. And also, we are in a modern world. digitalization would really help us.
Yeah, technology.
Technology. And I urge the government to look at ways we can see technology intervene. And I think that will help us a lot. But one thing, there's always one thing. If we take politics out of our fight against corruption, it is done. We are winning. But how do we make this possible? Because the appointments are done based on political, affiliations and other things.
Right.
How do we go about it? It's a very hard thing. And the NDC per se, the NDC, I will always say, they should fight it. You see, we expect them to do, and they promised that they promised that we fought. They promised that they were going to do. One thing I've always said is that don't make noise about something you are yet to start. Don't make noise about something you are promising to do. We all want to see corruption far away from the country. You were making noise that aura, that you are going to fight corruption with it. But today, again, you are beautifying the initiative again. Because you promised us with figures about what? $21 million that you are going to recover it. But even today, we haven't seen even one city. Look at a way to fight this. Look at how to go about it, and stop making noise before you start the initiative.
Before you start the initiative. Right. We are just hoping that in the coming days we see results against the fight of corruption. Let's move on to our next topic. Chief Justice to review petitions against EC and Special Prosecutor. The Office of the Chief Justice has received 10 petitions seeking the removal of key public officials, including the Electoral Commission Chairperson, Jane Mensah, her 2 deputies, and the Special Prosecutor, Kisi Ejabin. These petitions were formally forwarded to Chief Justice Bafo Boni for constitutional assessment, according to the Minister of State in charge of Government Communications, Felix Kwache Ofosu. President John Dramani Mahama has completed his constitutional duty by transmitting the petitions to the Chief Justice, and the matter now rests with judiciary. The President's role ends once the petitions reach the Chief Justice, who will decide whether they disclose a prima facie case for further inquiry. What does it mean? What does it mean when the petitions are forwarded to the Chief Justice for review?
It means institutional safeguarding. Yes, it means constitutional protection. And I believe that it is just in the right process.
It is just in the right process.
The people are always focused on the fact that this current Office of the Special Prosecutor and the EC were appointed by the NDC, and so therefore NDC people are eager to see them out of office. That is far from the truth. You see, their removal is not the problem. The offices are there, and then the Constitution has made it clear that if you misconduct yourself in a way, you have to be taken out. Today, as I am sitting here, I cannot tell as to whether they have misconducted themselves or not. But the 1992 Constitution that created the office of the EC, Article 43, shows how when the EC chair misbehaves, how he can be removed. And the same process is how the office of the Special Prosecutor leader too can be removed. Now let us look at the issue itself. When somebody writes a petition, the Constitution has guaranteed that as citizens we have the right to write petitions against people when we observe that they are misconducting themselves or they are behaving in a way which is not in line with the code of conduct of their offices. You can write that petition. We the citizens, it is our right. Something that is a right, you can decide to enjoy or not to enjoy. But when it becomes an order, you don't have a choice. You have to go strictly by what the Constitution has said. The reason why I am not against what is happening is because somebody feels that I have the right to write a petition against my brother. And then the Constitution says that upon finishing my writing, I have to hand it over to the President. Now, if you read Article 146, it has stipulated clearly that upon the president receiving your petition, he has no other move than to hand it over to the Chief Justice. That is what the Constitution says. The president can never use his discretion. In fact, when it comes to executing Article 146, the president does not have a discretionary power. If you read our Constitution, it is clear. The Constitution says that upon the president receiving that petition, because he is not a judge or a lawyer, and he cannot determine as to this thing is not in line with the Constitution or not, the Constitution mandates him, in fact, it orders him to give the petition to the Chief Justice. Now, the Chief Justice goes through your petition, and then he is going to establish as to whether the allegations you have leveled in your petition are true or false. And that is what we call prima facie case. Say, Assembly Watchrono, does it carry substance? Does it worth our time? As I say, Ghana or mine, you waste your time or who it is dependent on the judge, and I said the Chief Justice or not this decision ever. If you look at the introduction of separation of powers and checks and balances by Baron de Montesquieu in his book The Spirit of the Law, 1758, or say the judiciary cannot do the work of the legislature, neither the legislature can do the work of the executive, and none of them is more superior over the other, and they are to check one another. So when you give the petition to the president hands over the petition to the Chief Justice. Now, when the Chief Justice goes through your petition and even determines that there is an issue that must be decided on, or also Constitution ni mo no kwa to me say obetumi take decisions am pa bonin why ana say onye ye ni de ne say obeka say case we and a petition we na e de aba no asem mo say say den ye hwe e ho na ono so Constitution order ne say on form committee bi. That committee will now give you the person now yatro adiana fa on the right to come and what defend yourself. That is why I started by saying me I don't know the petition that has been written against them. The actual will be as my and as money. That is not my business. I will only be satisfied after the work of the process, the constitutional process. Now that the petition has gone to the Chief Justice and he's reviewing it, after review, no beba country say, petition and the crash crown. Bibia is shared anymore, so a forming committee, I can say, ye baba investigating. Name so soon be woman for Mr. Committee now. You the person in a petition found. Once when you rise over call committee in any more heading, what could ye one? Even after that, the committee doesn't have the right to say why I want you. They give what is called recommendations for the president to what? To act on. So I see the thing to be a constitutional procedure that is being followed by a citizen. And if we want to protect our 1992 constitution, we should just keep calm and observe the process.
Right.
Let us not be just like we are discussing this political partisan and we are not able to fight corruption and all that. We share a constitution now. Say we a leader, we are a leader, Chief Justice, whatever, you could boss now conducting whom in form of corruption is any constitution actually quite nice and be near you be then. So we have to wait till the end of the constitutional process. Then we can say that Madam Jean Mensah, indeed, as I say, you free ho, and I say you can say better than you be free one more. Because the constitution, the framers of the constitution in their wisdom, they know that if the sole power is given to the president or one person, somebody can just wake up and call you in the morning. But in this case, it is not like that. So it is a constitutional process that is being what followed, and regardless of our political party affiliation, my humble advice is that we should rather protect the constitution to do its work at this time. Now, if I establish an example, my for say me say ya say the bit me then esi, and I say obi the assembly say to me so say na me so me family be then e be defend me. So at this point, and I will say that Article 146 is not there to give power to somebody to remove somebody. And Article 146 you be free office. No, a protective onipanenso. Because if Article 146 doesn't give you the opportunity to appear before the committee and also bring out your side of the issue, that's all dismissal letter say the constitution has been biased. In fact, the person sacking you also will be biased. Into the constitution, I must have rights and say you onipana yatro petition found. Also one can say who appear before the committee. Now all the witnesses cramp then. Eba. So I committee ni shame na the air can say why no. why am pa omo be established no much recommendation. So I believe and I know that there is a constitutional process that is being followed by somebody, and we shouldn't view it or eye it as the NDC is trying to get somebody out of office at all costs. Besides, obi petition watch on allegation. Nti say corner say enye no kra. I know that the nipa no petition no kra bo nani eden. So let us allow the process to go on and allow our constitution to function.
Right, Sheriff. What are your expectations for this particular case? Would you wish that if indeed they go through the investigation and it happens that these two people or these two officers found themselves guilty, they should be removed? Or you think maybe due to their diligence and then their competence in office, it should be forced?
So, honestly, with the constitution he was talking about, the constitution has always been that body that shuts us up. I mean, when these allegations come up and they leverage
that shuts, like as in make you quiet.
Yes.
Why?
I mean, like he said, if someone feels this appointee is not doing what they are supposed to do, and the person, I mean, makes a petition, and which is from their constitution. I don't know, and he was quoting it. You see, so I am saying that because he is saying is the constitution, we can only hope say what they are going to do, the process should be done well, and then we see for ourselves what exactly is wrong with this body. Because clearly, if he don't want us to have this perception, say it's the MPP that appointed them, and so the NDs are in power and they want them off. That's why they are bringing these allegations, because this should have been something we see for ourselves. For easy, I know elections has always been done. I mean, so I don't know why these things are coming on, and they don't want us to say it's because those people weren't appointed by their government, but they are using their the constitution as a leverage to say that someone is feeling that those bodies are not doing their jobs.
So if I'm getting you right, you are trying to say that these bodies are being removed. Let me not say removed, but petitions has been sent for these bodies to be removed simply because this current administration needs appoints those bodies. But I also like to ask that, but for you yourself personally, haven't you seen any sort of criticism when it comes to these parties in terms of how they are playing their role in the office?
Good one. So I am talking for the EC.
For the EC.
For OPS, obviously we've all seen
OSP.
That. OSP, sorry. We've all seen that. But the EC, we haven't, I mean, obviously seen something or this misconduct they are talking about. So look, this is how we are going to view it. You see, but they are saying that they are using the constitution and we should allow the constitution work. So you see, I will advise that they should rather concentrate much on, I'm not saying these ones are not important. I mean, if they are not doing what they are supposed to do, but they should, because at the end of the day, we will see that how they go about their processes. I mean, it's not encouraging. You see, they will go about it in such a way that you see that
the process haven't started in your.
I know, but I'm saying it because we've seen others.
Okay, it has started. Once somebody has submitted a petition, the process has started.
Well, so that's what I'm saying. We will allow the process to go on. We'll wait to see whatever that's going to happen. But we will love that they put these kind of energies on matters that really that to the nation.
To the Ghanaian people.
Something like Galamsey.
Right.
Galamsey, you promised that you were coming to fight Galamsey. All effort that the MPP was putting in Galamsey, you came and you were saying that it was absolutely nothing, and that you are coming to make sure that Galamsey is collapsed. But today, what are we seeing? We see some of your people engage in that. And how are you fighting that? We see Gone are the days where you were Sam George and Co were telling us that Galamsey can be end in just a week or two. But today, a full year, you've not been able to do something, a solid initiative that goes about fighting Galamsey. Yesterday, Joy News posted, a documentary they are going to release today, that Galamsey is threatening Bui Dam and the future of that dam. Look at this. This is about our health.
Right.
You and I, if we are not well, we can't even think of writing a petition. This is the issues we should think of. Galamsey is going on. Look, Galamsey, they now go live. They are in Galamsey, illegal mining, and they are on live cameras. They are on TikTok going live. During your regime, something you were saying you could end in a week. And today, we are seeing things happening about Galamsey, and you are doing absolutely nothing about that. Absolutely nothing convincing about that.
Right.
And your mind is on petitions. This shouldn't be how we should see things.
Thank you, Mr. Sheriff. Ms. Okine, what would be your last words before we wrap up?
It looks like my brother doesn't understand. He's just trying to refer to. He's just trying to refer to the petitioners as they, meaning NDC. It is NDC that has written it. It is not true. That is not true.
But you can also send a petition.
I'm not saying that. That's why I'm saying.
Like everyone has
exactly. That's why I'm saying that. As far as they bring in the constitution, we'll be quiet and say that constitution has allowed someone to be able to file a petition. So we are quiet. Now listen. I didn't openly say the NDC are doing it, but we can view it as so. You see, but we allow the constitution to do its work. But I'm just encouraging that they put that energy in matters that really matter to the nation.
Thank you.
You still come back to the word they. Who is putting that energy? It means NDC is putting energy in something.
So are you trying to say they should ignore those?
I'm not saying. I made it clear. I said it's not that it's not important, but we have places that many energy should be kept on.
You see, where I want my brother,
and that's something like Galamsey.
Right. Thank you.
Where we are all talking about reducing our political excessiveness and look at things objectively. Where I want my brother to look at very closely is that let us not see the process as something that is being ignited by the NDC, but it is a citizen of Ghana who has revoked the powers of the constitution. So to me, I think the only thing we can do is to relax. And look at how the process is going to end. Right. If at the end of the day the results comes and the results establishes that there were flaws, there were constitutional breaches, we will have the opportunity and we will talk about all those things. But until now, since you cannot point to one fact and say that at this point somebody has violated the provision in the constitution, then clearly I'll say that whatever you are saying is dead on arrival, and the president is on top of issues. This Galamsey issue you are talking about, we are looking at it. Today, turbidity of water bodies are coming down. Look at what the gold board is doing. They are also doing their own thing. NIMOS is working. Blue Water Guard is also there. They are working. So I'll say that Rome was not built in a day. And the level of distraction the MPP caused onto the people of Ghana, it will take us some time. And I believe in the president that he will do it.
That's always not true. We see these NIMOs go and fight people, go and sack them from these sides, and they come back and the people are there. They go to fight them and your people fight them. We see those things happening. And that's Galamsey you are fighting. And we don't see, I haven't mentioned anything like NDC. But we've seen your apprentice involved in that. We've had issues. We see whatever that is going around. But what I'm saying that, what convincing initiative at all has the NDC put in place to fight corruption? Like the noise they were making earlier. Our eyes are opened already, but why are we not seeing it? We commended Gold Board, starting it. It's a good initiative, but they buy gold from, miners that we can't even trace. All of these things tells us that, look, you one way or the other, involve yourself in the act. Because now, I was saying earlier, although we commend Gold Board, but I was saying that although we should comment good, but something that is causing harm to you, you should think of ending it, fighting it before you think of benefiting from it, because we are not assured that you get the good from licensed miners, legal miners. We are not assured. So you don't have to. I mean, you should look at the better ways and tell your government to really fight. I'm not. It's not about. I'm interested in Galamsey, but that matters. I think you should fight on, and not. I mean, what you were saying.
Right.
So, my last words. I mean, I agree with everyone in here, and my good brother here. I agree with him. In fact, he's my senior. He said he schooled at Accra Technical University, which I'm currently a student there. So he's my senior. I greet him and I greet everyone here. I send greetings to my humble MP, Honorable Habib Idrisu, who is doing so well in the Toyon constituency in the northern region. I mean, he's making it lovely. He's making the constituency develop. I mean, the initiatives he's bringing on is helping the people so much that the confidence they bring in. In fact, I was amazed recently when he hosted the incoming flag bearer of the NPP and inshallah the incoming president of Ghana, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, in his constituency, where on an ultramodern astroturf he built for the people. That was where the came and welcomed Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and when you see the people that were there, I mean, it's amazing, it's exciting.
Right.
I mean, we thank you so much, and we expect that he keep on doing the good works he's doing for the constituency. I greet my people out there, the NPP and everyone. I wish everyone all the best.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sheriff. Thank you, Mr. Okine, the NDC communication team member, and thank you, Mohammed Sharif, also NPP Communications team member. And thank you to our lovely and cherished listeners for doing the listening and sticking with us. We had such an amazing time right here. We'll meet same time tomorrow. Do make it a point to join. Do have a lovely day.